The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig!
Stop! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Here we go. Feel Good Friday, September 26th. I'm AJ Hawk sitting in for Pat. I believe he's in Happy Valley about to watch a showdown tomorrow night. Football! It's what we do last night. The Seattle Seahawks take on the Arizona Cardinals. The Seahawks win 23-20 and somewhat of a barn burner it did turn into, I guess. Kickoffs are in question. I think this one had a big impact on this game. Late in that game, it was a bit of a rough slog. Early in the game, really picked up the last 6-7 minutes. But, Pat, I believe you have a beautiful setup over there in Happy Valley. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, life is good down here. I'm going to be honest. Beaver Stadium is over my right shoulder here. I'm at the Lash building. I think I said it right there. That's 100% on me if that is not right. It's the practice facility, has been for a long time. They got 2 grass fields out here, a full turf field, full size everything. And then they obviously have a massive indoor over there with a full field and everything. And then I think this is where all the offices are. James Franklin's office is literally 6 feet to my right now. It's actually directly behind one half of the Hammer Dahn Cowboys Gumpy's back. That is James Franklin's door right behind Gumpy right there. So when you talk about hospitality, I cannot thank these fine folks enough up here in Happy Valley. And we have a huge one taking place with a whiteout happening. You know, the night whiteout has been something that has been, you know, obviously a part of the football culture since it started, I think, like 2007 maybe or something like that. I forget the exacts. A.Q. Shipley was there. He takes credit for it, actually. I think Penn State people should know that A.Q. Shipley, who was on the call last night for the Cardinals, will certainly dive into that. He takes credit for this whiteout becoming a tradition, and it is a spectacle. But anytime a whiteout game happens, normally it's happening at noon for Big Noon Kickoff, which is obviously the biggest game of the Big Ten for each week on Fox. So this is a nighttime, top 10 whiteout game with Oregon coming in and potentially trying to steal the whiteout. They're wearing white jerseys. They're potentially trying to steal this whiteout here at Beaver Stadium. And then obviously you got a Penn State team that's experienced, that's been around, got a quarterback that's been through some big moments. He'll be joining us on this show today. I cannot wait to chit chat with him because the first couple weeks, obviously they haven't been playing the ball that we would have expected Penn State to play, but are they holding things back? And are they gearing up for this game? You know, they got some OGs out there, and maybe the big moment is what they've been waiting for to put on their best display, and maybe Oregon's in for it as they come into, it's going to be pretty crazy. I'm lucky to be here. And then last night, Toxic Table at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. I believe you both were on the Arizona Cardinals because how many people were on the Seattle Seahawks? And let's go to one half of the Hammer Dahn Cowboys, AP Tone. I think you were just playing the under, right?
Yes, I was.
Just the under.
Yes, I
which
was.
is 40.5, which you were feeling great.
43.5, my friend.
Moved a little bit. Okay, we got good.
Money.
We were dancing. You were in a good spot there for a while.
Yes.
You know, it felt like the Seattle Seahawks were going to run away with this thing. You know, Marvin Harrison last night, I feel like we watched him hit a potential rock bottom of his career. Yeah. And I know it's so early in his career to say that, but after last year having a couple different drops, or last week having a couple different drops that were very embarrassing, like very wide open, ball sliding through his hands like it's out of a movie and hitting him in the chest and going down whenever he could have scored a touchdown. I mean, the pressure was mounting on Marvin Harrison Jr., a man that we all have thought would be the next great wide receiver in the NFL because of what we saw him do at Ohio State. So it hasn't been like that. Him and Kyler haven't really connected as much as everybody had hoped for. 2 number ones going together. Let's go. Let's make this thing possible. And Kyler was targeting him a lot. I mean, he came out early, targeted him, throwing to him, kept throwing to him. And then the bobble happens with the interception. And I think that's when we all think, yep, this one's over. If this is how this game's going to go, okay, if the Seattle Seahawks are going to get those types of bounces, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is potentially at a point of his career where it's going to be a make or break type situation. Mentally, this could really bring you down. And then they had some shots very close up of his face on the sideline. It looked like he was a deer seeing lights in the middle of the night. I mean, it was a bad optics. And then late, whenever they needed him, Marvin Harrison Jr. comes through for the team. Marvin Harrison Jr. makes a big-time catch. How you doing? Keep it moving. Let me mosh you. 20-6 in the fourth quarter. And then everybody talked about the moment where he puts his head down. Obviously, let's give thanks to the Lord and for everything like that. It was potentially there he is. There I am. Like, that is potentially a wake-up experience for Marvin Harrison Jr. Him thinking about how bad could it possibly get. Well, I just bobbled a ball right into the other team's face in prime time. Like, this is potentially the worst it can get. So maybe Marv's back. Maybe this offense is going to be great. But last night, throughout a large portion of that game, it was exactly what we thought, which is this Seattle Seahawks team is very good. They are a very good football team. And I think the people of Seattle are going to be very excited for what's happening. Kind of a transition era for them. But they got some OGs over there, including Jason Myers. Misses a kick from 53. And then whenever he needs to come back and make a game winner, he certainly does that for them late. The kickoff, yeah, that's good. It's a good kick. Start to leak a little bit, con man.
Oh, yeah. Thought he was going to keep going, too. I thought this one was going to be an overtime game. Holy shit, Kyler's back, but hell of a boot right there from Myers.
You think Arizona should have went for two? I heard Herbie talking about it on the call, and he said something along the lines like, they have all the momentum. Let's get this to more football. Something along those lines. I could see that, too, because they feel like they're playing better on both sides of the ball or whatever. But, like, I think with all the momentum you have, I think you go for it right there. That's a game that the Cardinals normally lose, in my eyes, AJ. I don't know how you feel, but I think they should have went for two there just to win this game at home, division, 28 seconds left. Like, I think that's a big-time statement. I think that's a great play, and I think at that moment with how they were rolling, I think they score. But then let's get to your point that you made in the open, AJ. That kickoff landing a yard short of the landing zone because old buddy is trying to hit a squib here, trying to hit a dirty ball. And I've talked about this a little bit. Those squibs are tough to control the distance in which they go. For me, every time I hit a squib, it actually came down past the 20-yard line, which was actually a bad thing because it was too quick of a squib. So my squibs were actually ass kicks back in the old day because they traveled too far in the sky before they went down. The squib is unpredictable. A knuckleball is unpredictable. That's why Tim Wakefield, rest in peace, I do believe. I don't want to speak out of pocket. The reason why he was so damn great is because it was unpredictable. I don't even think he knew where it was going. The catcher didn't know where it was going. That's what a squib is whenever you're hitting the middle of a ball. And everybody's going to start trying to do this because it's very difficult to catch. It's going to be on the ground. It's going to work a little bit. And when that ball hits the ground, bang, we're allowed to have a little bit of action here. So that is the advantage. That is the kick that everybody's looking for. But the issue with it is you don't know when that thing's going to nosedive. And if it comes down a yard earlier than the landing zone, you might as well have just booted that thing straight out of bounds. It goes to the same place, to the 40. So this is a roll of the dice. This is the new kickoff rule. I saw a lot of people saying, God, get rid of this kickoff rule because it determined the game. It's like, don't we want it to be an important part of the game? I think that's what we're kind of looking for, like, big moments. Like, this sucks for the kicker, for sure. And Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba and Jason Myers and the snap and the hold were perfect on that. Have to make a play after this particular situation. But this is a part of the game. Like, this is now a part of strategy. Like, back in the day, we make that happen right there. We tie it up 20-20, going out for kickoff. Chuck Pagano's coming over to me. Jim Caldwell's coming over to me. Rich Rodriguez is coming over to me saying, hey, this ball is through the fucking stands. There's no return happening here. We don't want this thing anywhere near the end zone. You are kicking this through the back of the end zone. We are taking a touchback. When it was at the 20, we're taking a touchback. When it was at the 25, we're taking a touchback. I think last year when it was at the 30, we're taking a touchback. The 35 is the line in everybody's mind where the percentages of scoring go up so much, which is why that being the rule for the new touchback is kind of forcing people to hit the landing zone. If you kick it out of the back, the 35, they're probably still going to score. It's only 5 yards different than a 40, which is basically the other team scoring guaranteed. So it's much like baseball now. You got to throw a strike. Like, you got to put a ball in play, and you got to go cover it. So you can't just get out of a game. Like, I think that's a good thing, not a bad thing. But boy, AJ, people were pissed that ball landed at the 20.5-yard line and it goes out to the 40 with what we're about to potentially see in overtime, AJ.
Yeah, so I want to ask you, honestly, I know it's a tough kick and the whole squib, you don't know where it's going to go, like all that stuff, but the landing zone is the 20 to the goal line, right? We're trying to land the ball there. How tough is it for NFL? Can we expect NFL kickers to make this kick consistently, like say 8 out of 10 times?
So the kid Cardi, I think in L.A., and then the dude in Carolina.
Fitzgerald. Yep, Ryan Fitzgerald.
Okay, so I think they have very strong legs. So their natural squib is going to travel through the sky farther. If this makes sense. I don't know if this makes sense. So, like, when you hit a squib, you're hitting the fat of the ball. And you're not trying to hit it far. You're just trying to hit that thing to be a knuckler and unpredictable, basically. It's been called a squib. Now they're calling it a dirty ball. There's a bunch of different names. This kick has been around a long time. It's just brute strength right through the middle of that thing. I don't know if it was my leg swing or my leg strength, would travel too far. It would go through the sky too far. It would land too far. So it got to the returner real quick. Okay. The goal of the squib is that it gets the returner slow. So if the thing hits the ground, returner has to bobble. What you're seeing with these things, this has always been like in the game. But now, if you can hit a squib and it goes far, there's some guys that hit it and it gets on the ground quick, which is actually a better squib for what it used to be. You know, what the rules used to be. That was my squib was considered ass. Right now, it'd be the bell of the ball. It would be, it would be the bell of the ball. And that's why I'm excited for these guys that have it. But if that isn't what your squib is, and you're also a field goal kicker, you're starting to hit a ball fat. I think there's some ripple effects that are going to come from this potentially in field goal stuff. I think punters should be learning how to squib kick this. That's what all punters should be trying to do right now. But I think it's a big part of the game because Ty, I don't know if that's a good metaphor or not. They had to throw a strike. You got to throw that thing in the landing zone. Yeah. Like that is what you got to go cover a kick. Like you have to get out of this game. I like that. I like that. That's the rules. But boy, it did look weird when this determined the game. You know, this is a tough thing for fans, I think, to fully grasp what's going on.
Well, and we also, we've been saying this now really since week one. Like, hey, guess what? It's coming. I don't know when it's going to be, but, the kickoff rule is going to affect the outcome of a game, and we have it here, already. But, yeah, no, that's a perfect analogy. Like you said, it's like a 3-0 count in baseball. You don't have a choice. Those are the rules. You got to either throw it right down the middle and extend the at-bat, and in this case, you have to kick it in the landing zone and then go cover the kick. That's a perfect analogy.
Okay. I like that. So the kickoff is like playoff baseball. You know, and playoff baseball is much better than what the kickoff used to be because the kickoff used to be regular season baseball. You know, so that, right?
Yeah.
This is good news.
Yeah.
We got good stuff happening. Also, I heard baseball's still doing it. Baseball's still bringing it.
Yep, last series of the year for every team starts today. So, and we're still going right down to the wire.
All right, that's a lot of baseball. Conman, your thoughts on the game last night? You had the Cardinals. Obviously, it looked like it there for about a 6-minute period.
Yeah.
That was possible at the end of the game. You were thinking they should go for 2, or what were your thoughts?
Honestly, I typically I would, but I thought you can't go for 2 just because the whole time I thought Gannon's the dumbest coach in the NFL. So part of me thought can't really go for 2 if you're the Cardinals because if they don't get it, Gannon's probably shoveling shit at the circus today. But I thought the Seattle Seahawks were unbelievable. I think Mike McDonald is an absolute dog. I think when you're one of those teams who has a new coach, you want to see what they got. Mike McDonald, his first season, they have a winning season. Yeah, not Mike McDaniel. They have a winning season, and then they get rid of the quarterback. They tell Geno Smith take a hike, and they bring in Sam Darnold after having a winning season as a rookie head coach. So for me, I think Mike McDonald's got the nuts the size of the globe, damn near, for what he's done building this team. Back with the kickoff, if you think about it, this is the second primetime game, really, where the kickoff has decided the game. Just because Bears couldn't get it out of the end zone. Vikings run it out. 2-minute warning is wasted. So it is almost kind of the other edge of that sword when it comes to this kickoff. At what point will we see guys just turn left and kick it out of bounds? That'll be very interesting. But no, personally, I was just really impressed with the Seahawks. And, I thought it was going to be Rams-Niners in that division. And it feels like the Seahawks are going to be the other player in there too.
Now we got to talk about it, AJ, because we always talk about, how much the sports books are winning. And hey, these chandeliers, they don't pay for themselves. There's money, and usually it's people's money. Last night, what percentage was on the Seahawks?
It closed 69% on the Seahawks.
Started the day 74%,
Yeah.
or 76% maybe,
74.
dropped down to 74%, and then 72%, then closed on 69%. We win, AJ. We beat them.
We beat them.
did it.
Yeah, of course.
You and I both.
We're seeing
By
the
the
board,
way.
man. We said last night we're starting off right. We know what was it last Monday night game. I think we got beat. Here we go Thursday. Let's do this.
I love that. Are you seeing the Ryder Cup board? Not good for America. So when we went live, it was not going well for the United States or America. Now, we understand what America is as a whole. Okay, we understand you might knock us down, but we're going to come back. Okay, now I did see Bryson DeChambeau lead that entire thing off, driving it to the fringe. He said, "Where's the fairway? I don't care. Where's the green?" Cuts that thing off and starts an electrifying morning at Bethpage for the United States versus Europe in another Ryder Cup, which we would all like to see, not in football season. But on that note, a nice little added piece of awesome happening during this sports weekend. The United States are taking on everybody. And it didn't go well after this drive. I mean, there was a putt that was made, and then there was a couple leads. But boy, as this morning round continued to go on, it started to look worse and worse for the United States. We do get one. I guess I see that finished once I
Big point.
come up here.
Big point we got in our last match. Yeah, Cantlay and Xander Schauffele just got this point.
Hey, shout out to Patrick Cantlay, by the way, coming through for United States of America.
Yeah.
We
Shout
appreciate
out
that.
Baby Cantlay!
Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Patrick Cantlay. We all say thank you to Patrick Cantlay for getting us a point and not getting swept. But I don't know if you read or heard, AJ. I don't know if you read or heard.
What's that?
There was one particular person that saw the United States of America losing to Europe, maybe at his home office, and he said,
Gas it up.
get the chopper. What he said. Ty, what happened? The president of the United States headed over to the Ryder Cup, and I believe the answer was, we saw that they weren't doing good, and we thought we got to get over there and help them. If the sitting president is trying to go help a golf team, what does that mean? And what was the entire messaging you think the president was sending there?
Yeah, I think he basically said, like, listen, everybody loves Keegan. We love Keegan. We talked about it. Hey, Keegan, pick up the bag. You got to play. You got to play. He forgot about his managerial decisions, too. That's the only, he's a good leader, not a great leader. I'm a great leader. So I will be going to not only talk to the boys. I know the four ball groups, I believe, have been released. Ben Griffin was supposed to play with Bryson. Sorry, Ben. That's not going to happen anymore. I will be, stepping out there with Bryson. We obviously we broke 50 together.
You did have your shoes on. I see. You had your golf shoes.
I did. Yeah. You took your clubs too. I didn't know the president took it. He had golf shoes on. Obviously.
Well,
we got to go boots on the
listen,
ground.
Pat. You know better than anybody. My golf clubs come with me everywhere. Okay. You never know when a local muni maybe needs a new course record. So yeah, I know a lot of fans excited to see Ben Griffin. He won't be playing. Another guy, Harry English. The Ryder Cup. U.S., Europe. Got an English guy. You can expect to see his ass on the pie the rest of the weekend. Listen, our boys didn't play great. That's why I'm coming. That's why I'm going into the team room, the locker room. I'm going to talk to him. But, yeah, listen, Keegan's on the chopping block here. We need to score at least 3 points this afternoon. Otherwise, everybody's going to be saying, Keegan, you remind me a lot of Joe Biden. We need the other guy.
No!
He needs to wake up. He needs to bring the juice. One more presidential decree: free beer for all Americans for the rest of the afternoon. I would like to see people blacked out in the crowd.
USA.
Exactly. Shouting, slurs at Bobby Mack. Calling him a fat bastard from Scotland or wherever he is. We need to capture the juice back at Bethpage. That's why DJT's coming to town.
All right. Well, I don't know if he said all those things, but it did feel that.
That was like a truncated version of what he said, pretty much.
Yeah, maybe they're all thoughts potentially.
Yeah.
Maybe they're all thoughts at one moment. But him saying, I saw they weren't doing good. Grab my granddaughter, great golfer. She might be playing too. I mean, English might be out. Andy, who's the other guy on our team that you said?
Ben Griffin.
Exactly. That was part of the problem. I'm watching these guys, to Foxy's point.
Yeah.
I'm watching these guys. We have the game day production meeting. Obviously, we have Ryder Cup on our phones. Okay, while this whole thing's going on. And I'm watching these guys just let us down. Okay, let the United States down. I know it's a long weekend. There's a lot ahead. But exactly to Foxy's point, the people that were putting them down, I knew more about than the guys that were going down. You know, it was Foxy. How do you feel about what our chances are with how this whole thing started? I thought we were going to steamroll. Greatest win of all time. DeChambeau gorillas a ball to the green, and then he makes what, a 14-foot putt, 15-foot putt, I don't know what that was, and walks it in to start that entire thing. We have that flyover. How you doing? Keep it moving. I mean, the crowd was electric at, 5:30 a.m.? We're seeing videos of them going insane. This is how the whole thing starts. I legitimately thought it was we win all of them. What are your thoughts, Foxy?
Yeah, it was worst case scenario, Pat, because all of those fans were juiced up, like you said, 5 a.m., they're ready to go, and then what do the Euros do? The Euros come out, and they make a million putts, they quiet the crowd. No one in New York is loud anymore. The American fans...
That's the run game.
That's the
run game.
That's the run game.
Bull.
When you're on the road, you quiet the crowd early. That's what the Euros did. They had a good plan. And honestly, like I said, the coolness factor, it's definitely playing today because I knew all those Euros, and all of them were making big plays. And our guys that I said aren't as cool, they didn't play good, except for one of them who did get a point for us today.
We have more pizzazz.
Shout out Cantley.
We have more pizzazz coming in the afternoon. That's for sure.
Yeah, DJT.
DJT.
Off 5-6 minutes, right?
JJ
Tee off here
Spawn,
soon?
Sam Burns, Cam Young. Those guys have a little bit more pizzazz, a little bit more juice in the afternoon, yeah.
Maybe Keegan Bradley's strategy was for us to just get smacked in the mouth early.
Well, that's the problem. That's the
Laying
problem.
in
The
the
guy with
weeds.
the most moxie is Keegan Bradley.
Exactly.
And I love Keegan Bradley. He's a New England guy. He loves being the guy from, or the golfer from the cold area. He completely, respectfully, fucked us because
With what?
the United States is going to lose. They're actually going to get the doors blown off them. Yeah.
You can't give up this early.
It is so bad. I mean, watching this morning, it wasn't fun. I don't know why I woke up and got all excited about this. Well, our team is a bunch. I believe they actually changed the name this year to the United States Wet Blankets because that's the team that we're basically wheeling out there. If Bradley was on the squad chirping, that'd be great. By the way, I also saw that they did the whole Ryder Cup ball or whatever, and all of the guys on the United States wore white sneakers, and the Europe team, they looked great, dressed to the nines, top to bottom. We look like slouches, and we have no moxie. This is possibly the worst group of Americans assembled for a sporting event in the history of our country. And I'm bummed out.
What if we make a run? We might make a run. I would say, isn't this like a game?
Over.
Isn't this, Pat, something like a football game to where you go to halftime and you're down maybe 14-0, and you've turned the ball over 4 times, and they've played their best possible ball, and your coach is thinking, hey, we've played as bad as we possibly can. They have done everything that they possibly can do. There's no way they can play better than this. So we're going to come out here in the second half and dominate these dudes.
It was 33-0 in Minnesota.
Bingo.
Okay, Indianapolis Colts. All right, and Pat Peterson comes out and says, we need 5 stops. That's all we need here. And whenever you simplify it to just, boys, all we got to do here is just keep making our putts. If you make putts at the Ryder Cup, crowd.
That's what it is.
I mean, you win.
Yeah.
You win. Normally those things carry over. Whenever I saw it was 4 or 5 early.
Oh, yeah.
Because usually it's tie, and then somebody picks one up. That's usually because people can't make putts. Normally they're rimming out, bang, doing that whole thing. Europe came with their flat sticks, dialed the fuck in. I mean, what is the problem here? I mean, how come? Sorry, everybody. I'm in a institution. I am so sorry.
There's a lot of people back there.
They get it. They get it.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Ryder Cup. It's a big deal.
If they saw what was happening, they had to have. By the way, it felt like everybody was watching. USA Network had day 1 of the Ryder Cup. There was also a stream on Peacock of Bryson DeChambeau's group.
Really?
So
Really?
Just that group?
Yes. Yes, I did not know about the streaming of the DeChambeau group. I may or may not have called some people and been like, "Hey, is there not? It's 2020. We got to be able to, right? Somewhere. Boom. There's an Altcast stream on Peacock right now. Okay, cool to be able to. Does everybody know that's and then all weekend it's on Peacock. I think so. There's going to be. I think we got super coverage. I think coming up. But boy, day 1. Having go to commercials, I think a lot of people are not happy about, and then there's a lot of people loud about the coverage, and I think that's because of how invested we are, Tony. Is that what you think? I think it's because of how invested we are.
And also how invested we are, okay, and this is something that happens every 2 years. We want to see everything. But there's other, like the Masters, you can see every single shot if you wanted. And there's 150 golfers in the field. There's 8 pairings out there. We should not be in a situation where we miss one shot and we're questioning, oh, how did they go up 1-up in this situation? Like, that happened a bunch. There was way too little playthroughs and way too many full screen commercials. That was absurd.
Should be all playthroughs.
The audio
Audio's a problem.
So bad.
Yeah, audio's
They weren't
a
even
problem.
picking up the like off the tee, like the drive sound and everything like that in the crowd. It was a tough first morning for the USA Network and Team USA as well.
I'm starting to think that there's a chance that they told them on Tuesday this week that they had the coverage.
You think so?
Yeah, and they had to scramble to put everything together by Friday morning. That would make sense.
I sure hope not.
There's a chance.
We need our boys to come out here, about 2 minutes, maybe 1 minute from now. We're going to be teeing off, right, for our second round?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Need it.
Here we are.
Big afternoon.
We need the fans to get liquored up here. We need the
Bingo.
fans to get
Also, the
loud,
issue-
and we need
They
USA
will.
to fix the audio so we can all hear that because we need a little momentum here, fellas.
Foxy, one of the problems was the liquor stands didn't open until 9 a.m.
Oh,
if they're
that
teeing
can't
off
happen.
at 7, open up the liquor stands at 7 a.m.
That cannot
What
happen.
are we doing?
I thought this was America.
Liquor stand should be open when the gates open.
Bingo.
5 a.m. Booze. In gullets.
The crowd was getting hyped towards the end because they were starting to get boozed up.
Exactly.
They should be nice and hammered by the time we tee off here in a couple
Yes,
minutes.
exactly.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
Especially with this little break we have.
Full
Pat, what's
throat.
going on back there, buddy?
I have a guy who's been a coach at a place in the modern era for 12 years. I have a man who has a team that is currently number 3 in the country. I have a man who's hosting college game day and a man who is going to see a nighttime whiteout tomorrow night against the Oregon Ducks. Ladies and gentlemen, the head coach of the Nittany Lions, James Franklin.
You got a fresh cut. You're looking good right now.
Hey, I shaved my face. Yeah, it's a new thing.
Clean shaven.
Thank you. I did a movie. This sounds so Hollywood. I did a movie, and for the character, I had to have a clean shave, and I didn't realize that I have a jawline right now. I'm Irish, coach, so when I get a little fat, that thing goes right here. So normally we put that beard on the
You're
cover.
looking good, man.
Thank you. So this will only probably last 2-3 more weeks. I'm getting less discipline as the weeks go on in
get it.
football. You know
I
what I
get
mean?
it. I
Let's
get
talk
it.
about your team.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the conversation around your squad, I don't know if you know this or not because you stay isolated. I asked him if he knew what was going on in the Ryder Cup. He said he did not know what was going on in the Ryder Cup.
Coach.
I broke the news. It's not,
It's bad.
it's not great for
Come
America.
on. Come on, America.
Yes.
We need you.
Yes, we
Come
do.
on.
Yes,
I don't know anything about golf, but it's time to go.
Okay, I appreciate that. Speaking of time to go, everybody's talking about how first couple weeks of the season, obviously not the greatest competition. So this is the first time we're going to get a chance to see your team.
Yep.
Do you feel like that as well? Like, are you still wondering what exactly this year's team is? Is tomorrow one of those big tests, or how have you kind of judged your team thus far?
Yeah, I think with everybody, right? Whether it's in the NFL, whether it's college, you're waiting for that first big opponent that people describe where both are going to be tested and how you're going to handle that. So we got a ton of respect for the first 3 teams that we've played, but obviously this is different. This is the number 6 team in the country coming into our place, ton of talent, ton of weapons, a lot of success. We obviously played them last year as well. So this is our first true test. I think that's fair.
Okay, so when you see this team, obviously we know Oregon.
Yep.
And we know of a tight end, and we know what Dan Lanning's teams are like. Quarterback, though, with them, with this environment, what are you expecting from them on the offensive side of the ball with quarterback Dante?
Yep.
And what are you expecting from like this environment from your team and from their team?
Yeah. I love Dante. We recruited him out of Detroit, out of high school, 5-star, number 1 quarterback in the country. And I've been super impressed with his path, right? In today's college football, he goes to UCLA, starts 3 or 4 games as a true freshman, chooses to go to Oregon and sit behind a guy for a year. Very few guys are making that type of choice at that level of quarterback. And now, obviously, he's playing at a high level. Year 3, he's got tremendous talent around him. Number 1, the wide receiver is a problem. The tight end, number 18, is a problem. They've had our attention all week long. But it's not just them. They got 2 really good running backs as well. They got a massive offensive line in front of them. So they've put a ton of good stuff on tape, a lot of challenges. He's been able to retain his coordinators and his staff. So this is going to be a real challenge for us.
And the environment. I mean, talk about it. Because so this is an interesting thing. I feel like I've experienced a lot of things. One of the things that I would like to experience is a night whiteout game. Like, just because growing up in Pittsburgh, obviously, and having a lot of friends that are Penn State cult members, and
Just so you know, if I was here, you would have been here. Well, I wouldn't let you leave the state. It's a huge mistake.
I won the kicking camp on these grounds.
I've heard the story.
Yeah, I mean, I dominated this thing too. I mean, it was.
You got any eligibility left?
No. I mean, maybe they're making new rules. I might actually. I get 5 years, right? AJ, I think you do too.
We'll take AJ too.
Yeah.
If this could be a package deal with AJ and you,
yeah,
let's do it.
We could, but let's talk about this environment.
Yeah, it's
AJ. Did you play in this ever?
Oh yeah, I got beat. I lost a whiteout for sure. It's a raucous environment. It's an unbelievable experience to play in that for sure.
What are your thoughts on nighttime? I know it's a conversation, but it is real. Like Ohio State has the same conversation about their big games being at noon every single time. It's just a different environment when folks have all day to get tuned up, or just lights always make things feel bigger.
Correct. And listen, Fox has done a phenomenal job. You got to give them credit. They've done an incredible job with the 12 o'clock games. But the night games are different. We got RVs been coming in since Wednesday. There's already thousands of them out there already, ready to go. They got all day long to watch college football, to get lathered up, to get ready to go. And then obviously the first whiteout ever with 2 top 6 teams. So we've been doing this for 18 years, and it's the first time that this has happened. So everything that you want is here.
AJ, we got some history, brother. What's your question for Coach?
Coach, your quarterback, Drew Aller, obviously, I think he's going to come on the show here a little bit later and talk to us. But what's it like having a guy with that much, that many reps, that many big-time situations where he's been in? He's played in the brightest lights. Like, what does that do for your confidence, not only your coaching staff, but also the rest of your team?
Well, I think the other thing is you got to live that position. And this guy lives it. He's in the building at 6 o'clock. He's asking all the right questions. He's holding his teammates accountable. He's what's right about college football, and I think he's got a very, very bright future. So experience counts, specifically at that position. He's been in these big games. He's been in these big moments. They haven't all gone his way or our way, but you learn from that. He's been a proven commodity, and I expect him to play extremely well. I think he plays his best when he's got a chip on his shoulder. If you watch the West Virginia, I don't mean to bring it up, but you watch the West Virginia game.
It feels like it kind of.
I'm sorry. From 2 years ago, he had a chip on his shoulder. He ran a linebacker over. To me, that's when he's at his best.
Unbelievable. You were going to fit that in at any moment? Is so?
Well, I led with I wouldn't let you leave the state. I led with that.
And you're going to get that in there, and then we're going to come back to what happened. Rain delay, too, the way you guys came out of that in a much smaller locker room. I'll tell you what, that was absolutely depressing. The way Aller's season ended, obviously talked about a lot.
Yep.
Okay? Not the best way. And you said not all has gone his way. There's only one team a year where every game goes
That's
their way.
exactly
okay?
right.
That is literally how it is. I was excited to see how Aller was going to respond from that moment. I, too, had one of those moments at a much different position, miss a couple big kicks in a big game at the end of the season. The whole world feels like it's crashing down on you, and most of the time it actually is.
That's right.
And then how do you kind of fight out of that? What did you see from him this offseason? You talked about living it and being a leader, but mentally attacking that, and then now having his biggest test. Do you think he's prepared? Do you think this is when he's going to show up biggest? And is that a motive, like to prove everybody wrong that was burying him, kind of?
Yeah, well, I think it's telling, right? The guy could have left last year as a first-round draft choice. So if you're running from that, you go to the NFL as a first-round draft choice. He came back. He came back because I think he wants to finish this thing the right way. I think there's unfinished business for him, and he's used it as fuel. The guy is leaner. He was 242 last year. He's about 235 right now. Ooh. He's athletic. He's 6'5". He's 235 pounds. He can make all the throws on the field. And year 2 now with Andy Koldenicki in this offense and those 2 running backs that we got behind him, there's an opportunity to really, put this team in a really good position in his behalf.
Early in the season, but man, such awesome expectations for your team. Honestly, doesn't it feel good for your team to have these types of expectations going in, and also knowing that it feels like Penn State's one of the schools, just from what I've learned, that we are going to be expectations every single year in national championship. Last year, you get a taste of it. This year, coming into the season, it has to feel good that you are expected to win a national championship, basically now at Penn State every single year. I assume that's how you viewed life here for the long time, but now it's very real. It feels it.
I think you got to embrace that, right? That's why you came to Penn State. That's why Drew came to Penn State. Every single one of our players and coaches, this is why you chose this type of program, to play in these type of games and have an opportunity to do something special. So we talk about 1-0 every single week, but we don't hide from the national championship discussions. But as you know, it's critical that you stay focused to one game at a time.
Process, brother. Let's go to the Talks table back at the Thunderdome. Ty Schmidt has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, with a lot of these marquee Big Ten games in the past, they're very, you feel out the opponent. It's pretty cagey, and a lot of times we go to half, whether it's 10-10 or 14-10 or 7-7, low-scoring games. But with this game on Saturday specifically, with the whiteout and how crazy the crowd is going to be, and also knowing what Oregon can do offensively and how sometimes, those points come in bunches, how important is it to get off to a fast start on Saturday?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. If you look at Oregon and how they're built and how they play, it's usually starting fast. That opening drive is going to be critical for us and for them. They're used to playing with a lead. If you can kind of change the game and slow them down, then it becomes more of a traditional Big Ten game. But that's not how they want it to be played. So starting fast is going to be really important for us because that's a big part of their identity. I think that's a great point.
Is that your alarm? Oh. Kind of a banger, dude.
There's no doubt. I'm not a big alarm guy.
We don't have an alarm?
No, I just kind of wake up
What time?
Usually around 5. Yeah, usually around 5. I'm usually in the office for 5:45, 6.
Are you a coffee immediately upon waking up, or are you a natural as soon as you wake up? Wow.
I just started drinking coffee like 4 to 5 years ago, and they were like ice cream sundaes. Now it's black.
That's maturity. That's maturity.
Yeah, it's maturity, I guess. I hate it. I hate the black coffee.
So I'll put 2 Splendas in there. Now, I think Splenda's terrible for you. I don't know. I don't want Splenda to say, I don't know, but I know that I was
You're not getting an NIL deal with
I
Splenda.
know. I use it every day. And then that's why I went to Australia. They have like a lot of rules on their foods. Splenda nowhere to be found. So I was like, oh no.
What are we going to do?
What am I? No, but also, what have I been doing? This whole, it was like one of those conversations. I just recently became a coffee guy too. The Nespresso machine, do you have that?
No, we have some machines over there that are phenomenal that I just kind of go. But I only drink it. We don't have coffee at home. We don't have machines. I only drink it at work.
Put one right on your desk. I'm looking at his office. This is going to get a shot. I don't know who's that guy in the back there. Who's that? That's
my boy.
What's his name?
JJ.
JJ.
My roommate at Washington State.
Really?
That's my roommate at Washington State. Yes,
JJ, that a baby. Yeah, what up? What up? Yeah. All right, we appreciate.
That's my guy.
AP Tone has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, I do. Obviously, big offseason news, bringing Jim Knowles in as your new defensive coordinator after Tom Allen goes to Clemson. Obviously, he was with the national champion Ohio State team last year. He played Oregon twice, looked really good against them in the playoffs. How big is it bringing him over? How's that been? And how nice is it having him face them twice last season?
Well, first of all, I love the USA hat you're rocking there. You're looking sharp.
Ryder Cup.
Ryder Cup.
Remember?
Ryder Cup. Got to bring it back.
Yeah, thank you.
Hiring Jim Knowles was obviously a big one for us. A guy that's won a national championship. We got Stan Drayton on our staff as well that also won a national championship. And obviously what he's been able to do defensively. If you look at the last 2 years, Jim's defenses have been as good as anybody. And, being able to do what he was able to do against Oregon. You talked about playing. He wasn't necessarily playing, but obviously he orchestrated the defense. And when we had an opportunity to bring him home, another Pennsylvania guy went to St. Joe's Prep in Philadelphia. So being able to bring him back home and be a part of our Penn State family was huge.
The Ohio State people love that, right, AJ? Didn't you guys love that?
Yeah, we got Matty Patricia right now. Everyone won. Everybody's a winner in this situation.
Matty's doing a great job.
Yeah,
he's doing a great job. Yeah.
Okay, for you, how much are you scouting? Like, Big Ten games, obviously very important. This is a huge building. I don't know how many people are working here for Penn State football, but much like everywhere else that is fully invested in sports right now, big operation. What do you have? How many people do you have working in like scouting department almost? How many people do you have like future team research or recon? Like what is all in here? This is a beautiful facility, by the way.
Yeah.
And thank you for the hospitality. But how many people are kind of under this roof, kind of operating every day?
Yeah, we have about 70. But then there's obviously a ton of interns, student interns as well, that do a phenomenal job for us. So it's a big operation, whether it's sports science, whether it's recruiting. We don't really break it up like kind of the NFL in terms of recruiting, and then player personnel, where you're evaluating other staffs. We kind of do it all within one roof. We got about 10 people working in recruiting, and they do a phenomenal job for us. A GM, Andy Frank, who's got an engineering degree from Princeton, which makes sense to work in football, right?
Of course.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
I think I'd like a Princeton engineer working with me as opposed to working against me.
That's
I
right.
think.
That's fair.
I don't know if I'd ever think I'd work with a Princeton. You're working with a Princeton engineer.
Yeah. He's our GM. Does a phenomenal job.
Look at you, football guy.
Football guy.
Working with engineers. It's a full business. It's a full operation.
It's a full operation.
And Penn State is operating at a very high level. I saw that you had Coach Katie, I believe, from the women's volleyball team, national champion, on your show last night. And then Conman back at the toxic table. Their hockey team fully invested here as well. Kind of the state of the sports here, Connor, is what he wants to ask you about, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, how awesome was it, when you see a Gavin McKenna and you see Pat Kraft come out and, they're doing the stadium and they're spending money not just on football, but all the other sports as well. How motivating is that for you to just continue to get better? And how excited are you to work with Pat Kraft and not have to ask for anything and more so tell him, like, no, it's okay. We don't need a new $10 million workout facility at this exact moment.
Yeah, I'm not saying no to anything, to be honest with you. That's not happening. But, yeah, Pat's been phenomenal. And I think you guys understand this, but having an AD who played football in the Big Ten, who's waking up every single morning wanting to win a national championship, you feel like he's in the foxhole with you. That alignment in leadership from the head coach to the AD to the president of university to the chair of the board, it's critical. And I know you guys just kind of went through this at West Virginia with bringing Coach back.
Yes.
That alignment is critical, and we're in that position right now, and that's why you see a lot of these decisions being made. A lot more yeses in the offseason than we used to get, and they add up, just like the little no's used to add up too.
In the modern world, those yeses matter more than anything, I think. And it sounds like what you guys are doing here with sports. And Pat Kraft, middle linebacker for Indiana, by the way.
Neck roll.
Oh.
Neck roll.
And you look at him, he looks like one, too. We're talking blockhead, like a square
That's
head.
back when you could take dudes' heads off, too. That's like, that era.
Yeah, neck roll, running down on kickoff. You're going to see him. He'll be on the sideline. And sometimes I'm a little worried about him more than what's going on in the field. He's going to come out and get on the field and get a flag.
You need to worry about the players, Coach, not him.
I know, but watch him. Watch him on the sideline. Watch him at wrestling. Like, I think he thinks he's going to go on the mat with Kale. Like,
I forgot you guys have 100 national champions in
wrestling.
Yeah,
they just don't lose.
Pat,
Kale went undefeated his entire career. Look at Pat. Look at the neck roll. That's when you wore shoulder pads.
That's the athletic director for Penn State.
That's what I'm talking about.
Remember him at the
sport is
Orange
gonna be
Bowl? Pat, you pointed him out at the Orange Bowl when we were on the sideline against Notre Dame, and he was basically forearm shivering guys up and down the sideline before the game started.
Yeah, frothing.
Yeah.
He's a psycho.
And we got LeVar Arrington as the guest picker.
Yeah.
I think he was on the sideline down there as well.
And
wasn't
his son's with us. We signed his son this year, LeVar Jr.
Smart play.
Yeah, and you should see him. Stud.
Jumping.
Yeah, stud.
We got the whole thing. Mammal, I believe,
Yeah.
is the way that
That's right.
that the Arrington family is described, and that's the highest level. LeVar Arrington. And I think we're going to show some highlights.
And his son's wearing 11 for us, too. Been a lot of pretty good 11s.
It's a big number there.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons.
Hold on, we got a stat about you.
Yeah.
We got a stat about you being an NFL factory.
Great one.
Penn State, first-round draft picks, last 5 drafts, 2021 through 2025. 2021, I don't want to say his name wrong.
Odafe Owe.
Okay, he went 31st. Micah Parsons then went 12th in 2021 as well. Jahan Dotson, 16th in 2022. Chop Robinson in 2024 went 21st. Olu Fashanu won 11th in 2024. Then obviously Tyler Warren goes 14th to the Colts. We're winning.
How happy are you about that right now?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
Thank you for that. And we saw him hit his head. What was that in Notre
Dame?
Yep.
Orange Bowl.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
He hits his head on the sideline. We were down on the field, calling
It
it.
don't matter.
He got right back up.
Yeah, old school. You see the flow he's got going on.
He's a Sasquatch.
And I'm not going to bring it up, but another team took another tight end in front. Somebody took another tight end in front of that guy.
Well, you can say it was the
what are we
Bears,
doing?
Coach.
Thank God.
The Bears. I'm
Thank
not
God.
going to say it.
Thank God they did. Okay. And then obviously Abdul Carter went number 3 overall. You've become a NFL factory, which I think Coach Saban talks about a lot in building up trust with high schoolers and families whenever you're selling them on the vision. Hey, everybody wants to make it to the NFL. We have proven we can do that. I think you have that box checked. You obviously have support and alignment from the entire organization. And obviously this place is going to be electrifying with their fans. Feels like you guys got it all up here. I appreciate the hell out of your hospitality, and thank you for welcoming us in here.
Appreciate you. And I hope to see you on the sideline at the whiteout.
Okay.
Come on, you got experience.
What do we wear?
You got experience.
What's the costume? What do you guys wear during the game? We got
the coaches or the players?
Coaches.
Coaches, we're going to contrast. So we're just being our normal.
Hey,
deal.
Oregon's trying to steal the whiteout. They're wearing the white jerseys. Is that normal?
Yeah, they're the away team, so they always win.
Is that how it always is?
Yeah. So everybody wants us to wear white with the whiteout, but the reality is you want the contrast. So you got the black sky, you got the white crowd, and then you got the blue contrasting uniforms in front of them. It's great for the quarterbacks too. The white would just blend it all in.
Oh, so this is actually potentially a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah. Oh,
Should they investigate the whiteout? I hope not. Not before tomorrow, at least. I appreciate you,
Thanks,
Coach.
man.
Good luck, and thank you for the time. Boys, back to you as Coach James Franklin literally opens his office door right here behind Gumpy to go say what's up to JJ.
My guy.
Attaboy, JJ.
Awesome. Yeah, JJ
JJ.
right behind Coach Gump right there. That's awesome to see. Tone, what's everybody thinking about this game as far as bettors? Do you have any idea?
To be honest with you, a lot of them are thinking Oregon just because of the record recently with Penn State, against these top-ranked teams. But Oregon also is one of those teams that has had trouble winning on the road in these big games too. So it's really like these two teams are going to get a monkey. One of these two teams is going to get a monkey off their back and be in a great seat for the college football.
Whichever quarterback plays best, that's whose team wins, you think?
Yeah, probably. I mean, first game I ever watched for Oregon this season was last week, and Dante Moore looked unbelievable. What's the deal? Is this a real situation where it's like, hey, Penn State was running a high school offense the first 3 weeks, and now they're going to roll out a new offense? Is that an actual thing? Because it feels as though the conversation around Penn State is they're undefeated. Everyone says they stink, but in reality, they haven't actually used their real, genuine playbook.
I'll be 100% honest. I haven't watched the tape, but people who have said that it's been a very bland, vanilla offense. It doesn't look like they've done a lot of their stuff that they did last year. But then there's people who you talk to who are Penn State fans, and they agree with that, yes. But they're also saying if we're running our bland, vanilla stuff, we should still be winning by more points versus these schools. You know what I mean?
Fair. Yeah.
And it's not like you have two different playbooks. Like you install everything in the summer, and
but you have a
spring
wrinkle
and summer.
here and there.
But yeah, there's definitely concepts that they haven't shown yet. I'm sure. But
but
how much?
like you said with the quarterbacks, though, I mean, like again, you can cherry pick to find whatever stats you want to make your case. But we had that stat about Drew Aller on third down and in the red zone, and like his QBR, and a couple of those are the worst in D1 for qualified quarterbacks. Like you can't be doing that if you're supposed to be a top 5, maybe the first overall pick. So yeah, like if he doesn't play well, they're probably not going to win.
Yeah, I mean that's football, isn't it?
Yeah, how big of advantage is it for Penn State's defense at home with that noise?
It's pretty serious. Yeah, like it's an awesome environment. Being a defensive guy playing there, it affects the road offense, the away offense. Like that first time they go out there, the first time, especially like let's say Penn State gets the ball and they score first, and then Oregon comes out down 7-0 with the ball. When they come trotting out with that's going to be super duper loud. It's going to be awesome.
There's a clip going around right now. I think it was
McNamara's Michigan.
Yeah, 2021 maybe or something like that. They're playing Mo Bamba right before the first play of the game. Michigan forgets to run a play. They get a delay game when the first play of the game was awesome.
Yeah, you cannot replicate that. You cannot do it in practice. Pat, I don't know if Coach is still with you or not. Maybe he went right by Gump, gave him 5, went to see his bud, huh?
Yeah, I just took a selfie with the coach. Nice. Had Beaver Stadium in the background with the practice facility here. It's really a
Beaver Stadium's right off to your right.
Yeah, I don't know actually if we can get it. Let me see.
That's cool.
Over that hill.
Foliage is beautiful this time of the year up there, eh?
No, it's like right. I don't know if it's going to be able
the same situation as Miami when you're trying to get the pool, but that wall was just in the way.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Snippet.
There it is. Top left window. You see it.
They always do a great job. The grass is always beautiful in Penn State, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you get it.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, we see it. It's part of the press box, I think. We see.
Yeah, it's back there. It is.
It's huge.
They're expecting 112,000 plus.
Sheesh. That's so many people.
And you got to remember when you're flying in here, you're rolling in. I mean, I guess this would be the one to show that. Look at these hills back here, dude. It is just
pretty cool.
In the last 30 minutes of the flight in is just like these rolling hills, and then there was a low cloud cover, so it looked like it was fog. And then we land in here, and it's obvious like you just feel the buzz of Penn State ball. And it's always been like that here. Always been a football place. Always. In football weekends, especially. I mean, whiteout weekends are about to be insanity. I have no idea how these people survive these things. He talked about the trailers coming in. You have to do that because, like, to get here, it is you got to get in here, and then once it's like, here we go.
It's not
Let's
a
go ahead and have
major
it. It's not just here. It's not just here, though. Yeah, it is a lot of Boilermakers. It's not just here, though. Ball has a huge weekend, AJ. We put it onto one graphic here. College football, obviously, we've talked about it. 5 massive matchups with national championship and playoff implications across the board throughout the entirety of the day. And then on NFL Sunday, yeah, right. We got 8 huge games that start at 9:30 a.m. all the way through prime time, where Micah Parsons is heading back to the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry World. And Jerry actually said earlier today, he said, shit, he is a good player, isn't he? Did we ever win a Super Bowl with him? Did we ever win a Super Bowl? I don't think we ever won a Super Bowl with him. Did we? Was I there? I missed it. Jerry Jones is certainly not shying away from the moment. And we've heard him talk on red carpets about how if there's no drama, I'll certainly create some. The Cowboys will bring some. This week is a Jerry Jones Super Bowl for sure, AJ. And I feel like the vibes for ball, especially whenever you add in the Ryder Cup happening all weekend, it's like we got a great sports weekend. We need to celebrate the shit out of AJ.
Yeah, we got a beautiful fall weekend, especially anyone in the Midwest, I think. Now, is Jerry going to cross paths with Micah/Michael in pregame? Does Jerry roam the sidelines at all in pregame? Do we know? Because the cameras will be on them.
Thought he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty
You think
sure
they're going
he
to
does.
shake hands? You think they shake hands?
No.
Do a hug?
No.
Post game.
I assume he says hello, Michael.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
He might.
just one, maybe not too much, but just like a.
You think Micah
Michael.
notices that he's been calling him Michael?
Yeah, I think he does.
Definitely. Yeah, I think you certainly know that. I think you definitely would know that.
Did you
especially
see
with
the,
what their relation?
Did you see the situation with the suite that he bought the suite for the entire year, so his family's still going to all the Cowboys
Are
games?
they really?
Because he said there's no refunds. They can't get any of the money back.
Now you got to remember that's happened to other guys like Darius Leonard. Remember when he left the Colts?
yeah.
He still had his suite because he was watching the games down in our suite, the Colts games, like at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was like, "So you're coming to games?" He's like, "I paid for the suite."
Can you sublease it? Could you sublease it to some other family or
right?
something?
I mean, probably,
try.
but I assume like he has members of his family or maybe people he knows down there that are just probably going to the game because live games are a great time. The
best.
Like our friends at SeatGeek provide tickets, obviously, at a better price than everybody else. And if it's not the best price for the ticket, they'll certainly tell you that you should go shop for it elsewhere. And they have tickets to absolutely everything. They're fantastic. But these live games that we go to for the Colts, it's such a spectacular event. I couldn't even imagine what this Packers-Cowboys event's going to be. Jerry Jones is going to be what we like to call in his bag. He's going to be door-dashing every form of entertainment and explosive that he could possibly have. I think we're looking at one of the most awesome nights of football that we've ever had. Maybe when Peyton had his 18-12 game against Andrew Luck, and he came back to Indianapolis, and they treated it as if it was a Super Bowl, because it certainly was in its entirety. But whenever you think about Michael going back against his nemesis, Jerry Jones. And then NBC sending everything they got that isn't at the Ryder Cup down there to celebrate it and focal point it. The amount of behind-the-scenes stories we're going to hear about, the interviews, the sit-downs, everything that's going to come from this game. It's going to feel like it's a bowl game, like it's a Super Bowl game, like it's a playoff game. And I'm happy as hell it's only week 4 and we're already getting this.
Until they actually kick the ball off and the Packers beat him by 30.
Yeah, what if Micah gets if he gets like a pressure and a sack on the first drive?
I think there's a good chance.
Are they
What
gonna
if
boo
Jordan
him?
Love What if Jordan Love actually has so much time in the pocket that he actually like starts pointing around like where Micah would have been? Like Micah probably right here.
man,
It's probably where he would, and then throws in the middle of the game. What if he? I'm not saying he's going to do that. He just wants to win. He's going to be focused. It's just another game. Sunday night football game. But there's a chance that there is a little bit of maybe Dallas not doing well against Green Bay's offense, and then Green Bay's defense doing very well against Dallas's offense. Now there's a chance the complete opposite happens.
Yeah.
As well. It's obviously ball, and emotions can run in different fashions, and people can execute. And Dak Prescott is still Dak Prescott. So let's understand that the Dallas Cowboys are certainly certainly a capable team. But, boy, they've been getting beat up on that defensive side of the ball. And Green Bay's offense can certainly be explosive. And if there's a missing piece from that defense that could be fixing everything right now, and he's actually showcasing his shit for the other team against them, it could get loud down there, Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think there's also a chance that Kenny Clark doesn't play, which would be kind of just like another little double. Hey, the guy you traded for, he's hurt already. The guy you traded away, he has 3.5 sacks. And then obviously on top of that, you got issues on the O-line with them having guys out. CD might not play. So, or CD probably isn't going to play, I should say. So it's looking to be... it's tough because everyone, kind of like last week, everyone's picking the Packers. Everyone's expecting the Packers not only to win, but to beat the shit out of the Cowboys. So I think, there could be a little bit of I don't want to say a trap game, a week after losing to Cleveland, but there's a little bit of that there as well.
Oh, not worried about the boys. LaFleur's got them buzzing. Do you think this is the year for the Green Bay Packers? AJ, you look around the NFL, and it's like, who's who? Do we really know? Outside the Indianapolis Colts, the Buffalo Bills,
that's damn near it. The Eagles, Bucks.
But people are still trying to find their identity, no question.
Okay, so let's talk about what is the Packers' identity. Is this defense going to be what this defense has been for the first couple of weeks for the rest of the season? Is that
they lost 13-10, right?
Their defense played unbelievable.
Their defense was still good against the Browns. The offense obviously was not doing what they should do. But I know maybe it was a good early wake-up game. I know LaFleur has talked about that. Who on the Packers came out and said we can go
Rasheed Walker, the left tackle.
And LaFleur did not love to hear that. So maybe it's good. It's a good time to get that early wake-up call to where everyone's patting you on your little bum and telling you how great you are. That's the coach's worst nightmare, I think, for players to start hearing that.
You talked about early wake-up call. How about the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings? We get a 9:30 game. How do you think Aaron and the Steelers fare there? My natural instinct is like, man, this could be a very good game for the Vikings. But then I automatically think of TJ Watt just wrecking the game in Ireland because he's in Ireland and wants to do that. Same thing with Aaron. It's like this one's tough to kind of forecast, I think. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it is. Well, first, I don't know why. I always assume the field's going to be all mush and rubbish over there. Usually it's pretty wet. I don't know what the footing is going to be like, but I think either Carson Wentz has a monster day or he has a really, really tough day. I feel like it's one of those games for him.
Tone, what are your thoughts? The Steelers' defense obviously hasn't been something you've been super pumped about. Carson Wentz looked elite with Kevin O'Connell's offense. Does that change in Ireland? And I like that you use rubbish for those fields because they have been a bit rubbish, haven't they, Ty?
Yeah, they have been a fair bit rubbish. I mean, we remember the Brazil game and we remember the seams in the turf over there as well. But if we know anything, McQuaid will be out there irrigating that field to make sure it is in peak condition.
Thank you, McQuaid. We appreciate you, McQuaid, obviously. Tone, your thoughts, though?
The field will be shite. It always is for international games. I love that we keep going over there and doing that.
Whoa. It's good for the game.
Yeah,
hey, I'll tell you what, if Europe pounds us with the Ryder Cup, no more NFL games in Europe.
Thank God. Agreed with you. I actually feel pretty confident.
Lose. You want to keep NFL over there? Lose. Start missing these putts, boys. Okay? Do what you got to do if you want to keep the NFL in Europe. We're coming up on a hard out, Tone. I apologize.
That might be the greatest idea that you've ever had, to be honest.
Cancel them all.
I actually feel pretty good about it. Carl, he did look good last weekend, but he was also playing with like a 25-point lead 2 minutes into the game because there was 2 defensive touchdowns that the Bengals gave up. I feel pretty good. I mean, Carl's on his 6th team in 6 years. I'm pretty sure he's going to turn back into a pumpkin.
We have a hard out happening, right? Oh, we got one.
No,
there?
we got one more.
Yeah.
57.
This thing's off a minute.
Oh, no.
This thing's off an entire minute. That's awesome.
That's tough.
That's on me, boys. That's 100% on me, boy. I tell you were talking there, and I just saw this clock going, and I'm like, Bud, what?
See,
is anybody going to tell him?
If AJ was talking during it, that would have made sense. But I understand.
I know. I have much more faith in you guys. That's why, like, as it was taking place, I'm looking at this clock. I'm like, what the fuck? These boys, come on, boys, tighten up here. 100% on me. I apologize for that.
All good.
We have 30 seconds, Stone. Finish.
On the defensive side, I actually feel pretty good. It's the offense that I worry about because of their D-line and defense and looks versus a young offensive line that, it could be tough.
So who's going to win the game, Tone?
Steelers.
You think?
Yeah.
Aaron's going to throw for 3 touchdowns?
Yeah.
3, not 4?
A little optimism.
3's good.
Let's see. I think TJ gets after Carson Wentz a little bit. Don't you, Pat?
Oh, you think he's doing a kick and we think we're having a good time?
Yeah. No double ankle sprain. Pat, hey, we're going to stick around. Hey, Drew Aller, Nick Saban coming in the second hour. Take 3. See you then.
You know what? I think there's only one thing left to do here. I've experienced cafecito time. I've experienced the wonderful culture. I've experienced the beautiful people, and I think we got some Canes over here. We got some Canes over here. We got some Canes over here. This day in Coral Gables is going to be one that I will remember for the rest of my life. Ray Lewis started his dance right here at Miami. Ed Reed started his legendary run here at Miami. The legends of football run deep. The moments are special. The national championships are in abundance. Just last year, a lovely University of Miami woman diver from Italy won a national championship. This thing's been staring at me all damn day.
You're out of your mind, brother. You're crazy.
Kirk, I'm a little winded.
That's what I was going to say. You talked the whole time you were running. I'm giving you a chance to catch your breath, you son of a bitch. You're crazy.
I hope somebody got a lifesaver over there.
Is there a lot of letters?
Something. My man's out of breath.
It is a long way to the top.
You gonna jump in your suit? Are you going to jump in that
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so
I'm tired for you. Oh, my God.
yeah.
Oh, he's going to take the jacket off. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Oh, he's taking the shirt off now.
Okay, all right.
Looking ripped.
Yeah,
Looking
looking
ripped.
fit.
Oh, he's taking the drawers off.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The pants.
Not the drawers.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you come to this beautiful campus, you will notice quickly that the students here love this university. They love this atmosphere. And I'm with everybody. I think the U is back. Give me.
He's got the speed on. Oh, my God.
Give me the.
Canes, baby.
Here it goes.
Oh, God.
Here it goes. Feet together. Feet together.
I think that was the lead so for the Pacers.
Harry's got the U. Rushing it out. Oh, my God. McAfee with the refreshing plunge. Miami and Florida tonight.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Here we go. Welcome back. Hour 2, the Pat McAfee Show. I'm AJ Hawk sitting in for Pat. He's in Happy Valley. Big matchup. Oregon, Penn State, whiteout tomorrow. Football! It's what's happening, Pat. I hear we're doing well in the Ryder Cup already. Second round, whatever you want to call it. Second flight, afternoon flight. What are we doing? We're ahead already?
3 groups are out. The first group was Scotty Scheffler and J.J. Spahn. J.J. Spahn was the only one to birdie hole 1, so they are 1 up.
That's what I'm talking
Yes.
about.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Everything
can't be losing
I hear
in
it feels
Europe right
different,
now.
right? I hear it already feels different.
There's a lot more pizzazz out there. Ben Griffin's rocking these sweet aviators. Trump's basically standing on the first tee, shaking all the USA golfers' hands and giving them some words of wisdom before they tee off. So, I mean,
Nice.
Good luck, Europe.
Nice.
What's he saying, Ty? What is Mr. President saying to all the golfers as they're on the tee box, both the U.S. team and the Europe team?
He's not saying anything to the European team, but to the U.S. team,
Okay.
he basically was just saying, hit it straight and don't fuck it up. Because guess what? If you duck hook one, DJT's bringing his bat out, and he's going to play the rest of the round. And I'm going.
I like
low.
that. I like that. He would. For United States of America, he's got his golf cleats on right now.
Yep.
And everybody needs to know that. That's for a reason. And also his. This is the pizzazz we're talking about. Look at Scotty saying, "Welcome back."
Spawn does it.
Yeah, I like that. I like everything we got going on over there. We obviously need to turn the tide a little bit. Speaking of turning a tide, last night, Seattle was kicking the hell out of the Arizona Cardinals in quite a dud of an NFC West game on Thursday Night Football with Kirk, Al, Kaylee Hartung. And I think there was somebody coming all over the field reference from Andrew Whitworth and then Richard Sherman reaction to that maybe we should get from the pre or the post game. That kind of slipped through the cracks. I did see last night as I was watching. I love the way they present a game. I like the quality of the game. I like that Amazon has set a standard for streaming games that has been really high and has been since the beginning. I also know that some of these Thursday night games have been shite over the years. Mm-hmm. And this one felt like it was going to be one of those. This one felt like this morning what we were going to talk about is, should Kyler go play baseball? Is he missing... Is Kyler missing a baseball career?
Yeah.
Like that was literally still at this exact moment. Herbie actually said something during the game last night whenever his baseball accolades, because he was drafted, top 10 in both NFL and MLB. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. He was 7th in the MLB, I believe, and obviously number 1 in the NFL.
Yeah, I don't know if he's the only guy. I assume Dahn would be another guy that could potentially have that title. I don't know if he was drafted.
I don't think he was top 10.
Is that Elway? Or...
Maybe. Kyler, I think, at least in the last, 25 years since this has become more popular where they just draft guys, like he's the only one who is like surefire, yeah, this guy would be an all-star playing baseball, and he could be a league MVP playing football.
Okay, so last night, Kirk Herbstreit, who also loves baseball. Kirk Herbstreit was supposed to play baseball, but his dad coached football at Ohio State. He's from Ohio, have to go be the quarterback of Ohio State football team. But I think, AJ, you went to the same high school he went to. He has all the baseball. He was like a baseball guy, still is baseball guy. Obviously, great leader of men, great quarterback for Ohio State. But baseball was like his thing. He's big, too. I mean, it feels like that potentially what he loves the sport, right?
Absolutely. Huge Reds fan as well, has been for a long time.
Yeah, how are the Reds doing? I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation.
Really good.
Still alive.
Still alive.
Really?
Still got life.
Okay. Still got red legs on the season, I guess. But Kirk loves baseball. So I think he's always been intrigued by the Kyler could have been an MLB guy, because I often wonder, like, if Kirk thinks about what he could have been as a baseball player as well. And he was very careful last night whenever he said, everybody said that Kyler could have been incredible baseball. And then he said, still could be an incredible baseball player. And it's a crazy thought to think about that, because he's had already an entire career here with football in the NFL. He's gotten a second contract. He's made over $100 million. Obviously, how it's all gone is how it's all gone. And then you start thinking to yourself, this guy's still young enough. He could have a baseball. Ty, am I outlandish for thinking this? He could still have a bit of a baseball career. I'm not saying he should, but I'm just saying, if an opportunity was to present itself where this football thing maybe feels as if we're not going to be able to win a Super Bowl, which I'm not saying at this moment just because of a Thursday night football game. I'm not. But let's just say we get to that point. He's a guy that could drop into baseball. Let's say he had still been hitting balls. Like, let's say in the offseason, he's still hitting balls. Is there a chance that is even possible or feasible with somebody like Kyler or a talent at all?
Well, that's the big thing, is that because I think baseball, my guess would be, is very similar to golf in that sense, where it's like, if you're not doing that stuff if you're not taking BP a lot, it'd be very difficult to just, no matter how much talent you have, to take 6 years off or whatever and then see MLB pitching. But there have been guys, specifically quarterbacks, who have done it before. Like Drew Henson was at Michigan. He was starting, ahead of Brady, and he was like the number 1 recruit in the nation, coming in. Played quarterback at Michigan, got drafted by the Yankees, went and played baseball. That didn't work, and then went back. And then obviously, you have the inverse of that with some guys like Whedon and who, try to do baseball. It doesn't work. Go play football. So I think he could, but it's one of those things where he's not going to be the guy that he was when he got drafted 7th overall, because that's just a lot of time where he committed his life to football. He hasn't been playing baseball. So, and it's one of the, who knows if you could have the patience to know, like, okay, well, guess what? When I come back, I'm probably not going to play in the majors right away. Like, does a guy who's been making $150 million or whatever, does he want to ride around on little buses in AA and stuff? Like, I doubt that.
Doubt it, yeah.
And
Timmy
on that note,
Yeah.
on that note, we have a video of Kyler here. He's taking on Texas A&M Corpus Christi Islanders, 7-6, bottom of the 7th. Oh, yeah, that's a grand salami from Kyler Murray. Okay, that's what that is. And you obviously talk about his arm talent. He can spin it. It's like, that'd be a crazy sports story. Honestly, that would be a crazy sports story if he was able to pull it off. But that's the type of athlete we're talking about, which is why I think we all believe in the Cardinals potentially just flipping a switch and being great. You know, and that's kind of what they did last night. At the end of that game, they flipped the switch. That McBride guy,
Trey.
I love the way he
So good.
He looked like he should have had a punctured lung, maybe a concussion, and every time he gets up, and we're talking at the beginning of the game, like feed me more type shit. They got a great vibe over there. Losing James Conner is obviously a massive blow, but that Seattle Seahawks just domination and then a comeback like that at the end is kind of how we feel about the Cardinals. Can they piece it all together, right? Isn't that kind of the conversation about the Cardinals? And it has been kind of with Kyler throughout the entirety?
Yeah, they need to find a way to, I don't know. I guess they got to make a deep playoff run for us to truly believe that they can, take that next step. I mean, we know they have talent. We know Kyler's fun to watch. But when you mention that, I just think of Sam Darnold too, though. Look at Sam Darnold's stat line, 18 to 26 for 242 yards and a touchdown. That's about the stat line they probably want from Sam Darnold, isn't it? Like, we don't need you to go put up 350 and 3 touchdowns. You do this, you take care of the ball. Like, we're going to do great things.
He got a little tight there late. I didn't love that. The play action for him is a weapon. He's very talented at that. AQ Shipley called the game for the Cardinals last night. So I got a chance to chat with him after our show. Would have been nice to chat with him before the show. But he said, hey, what Sam Darnold is doing to everybody is play action. Classic play action. They got Kenneth Walker back there. Obviously, they have a run game they like. They have a great defense. He's eating and feasting. And I forgot Sam Darnold could do this. I even did the GIF. I did the GIF about, like, Sam. I had no idea that he had that. I think maybe did we understand that? Did we all know that Sam Darnold had that? I didn't fully I don't think I knew that.
A little, but not like that. It's like deceptive, like Baker. Like they're not fast, but they can.
Why
get
is it
done.
deceptive? What do you mean?
Because they're not super fast.
They don't run as much.
Okay.
Hey, how about this, AJ? You could say it about Patrick Mahomes too. I think, right?
Yeah, he's deceptively fast. You're right. You're right.
I think he's much more athletic than he gets credit for, mostly because of photos of him showing up. But like Patrick Mahomes will do this. I didn't know Sam Darnold had this. Danny Dimes will do this type of thing, but he's an elite runner. You're right. Baker will run and do it if he has to. You got to be able to move in the modern game. In a modern world. We just got a stat here. Most wins in one possession games in the last 2 seasons. Patrick Mahomes is 11-2. They played a lot of close games last year. Will they continue to do that this year? We shall see. Jalen Hurts is 10-2. Matthew Stafford's 9-5. And Sam Darnold, in the last 2 seasons, in one possession games, 10-2 as a quarterback. He's a guy, dude. Watch him last. And you were right. I forget who brought it up. Maybe Connor about McDonald. He's an intense looking guy, pretty jacked on the sideline too. AJ. I don't think I fully have had the McDonald experience. Just because of how it all went down. I like the way he operates on that sideline. I like the moxie of that team. I like how sophisticated that team is. I like how hungry the defense is, even when they're knocking the ball out of their own hands after a turnover on the first or second drive. I really enjoy the Seahawks team. I enjoyed watching them play football last night, AJ.
Yeah, McDonald he's got a presence about him. I think I've mentioned on here, I feel like your head coach needs to have like a presence to where it's like he walks in the room. You don't have to be a big loud dude or whatever, but we need to know like this is the guy who's coaching the squad. This is the guy who is in charge. McDonald definitely has that feel. I don't think his guys play that way. Like I think Seattle's the team in general probably feels like, hey, no one's talking about us. No one really cares about us for some reason. So we need to go out there and make some noise and win a bunch of games. Now what? They're 3-1, right? Here we go. Yeah. McDonald's 9 out of 10 road games, right?
Yeah, he's the 5th coach ever to win 9 out of his first. Yeah, there it is, 10 road games.
That's pretty impressive.
That's insane.
The guy's a player. Got his team rallied. Remember, they did their rookie show as an away game. Remember they took the
last year at that
downtown.
little thing. Yeah.
They took that thing downtown out in the public after they painted over all the walls and kicked Pete Carroll out of town. I thought that was an aggressive move just to go out into the city and see how it is. But I think that's McDonald. I think him and the boys are one. I think they're a good squad. And you talk about that NFC West over there. Purdy's taking first team reps of practice.
There it is.
Back.
There you go, Brock.
Congratulations, Brock Purdy. It feels like he's back being the starter for the San Francisco 49ers. We assume he's going to get back in there and just slice and dice like Brock Purdy does. No Bosa on the defensive side of the ball. Will they make a play for another pass rusher before trade deadline? All eyes are on the Niners to do that. Obviously, it looks like he's not full strength, but who is at this stage, especially at his position, coming off what he is. What are your thoughts on what the Niners are going to do over there? AJ, obviously it's a lot of money paid to that quarterback. Do you want him to get fully healthy, or do you want him to go whenever he can go? I think it's two different mindsets.
I want him to get fully healthy as a fan of his and a fan of just watching good quarterback play. But if I'm Brock Purdy, I'm getting back as soon as I possibly can. Like, I'm not letting Mac Jones come and start another game. I want to get out there. I want to prove the team right. Hey, you gave me this big old contract. I'm going to prove you right. Like, that's what I want. Don't let anyone else take your spot or stay in there. We know, no one's taking Brock's spot. But Mac stepped in and played well. So I don't know.
Hey, con man, McCorkle Jones might have had a full resurgence out here, huh? This might have been a turning point for him with the Niners.
I wouldn't see about McCorkle at all. It feels as though if they are both kind of banged up, which, all reports is the situation, that you probably would lean Purdy just because he has had some rest. Don't want to get him back too fast, though, because then he's out for the year, and he probably doesn't want that because McCorkle's getting 150. I'm not sure if you guys actually heard on the broadcast, speaking of Purdy, Sam Darnold, I guess, gave Purdy a bunch of credit for his resurgence in Minnesota last year. So when you're thinking about Mac, especially now, like all of a sudden Brock Purdy might be, and Kyle Shanahan, of course, but they might be these guys that are QB whispers helping out these other QBs. So personally, whether it's McCorkle or Brock, I feel good about it if I'm the Niners, and now more so, I have full confidence in McCorkle Jones being the quarterback of, throw out any of these teams who have a poopy quarterback, or the Vikings who are going to try it with J.J. McCarthy every year for the next 3 years and screw it up every year. But I feel like the Niners, I feel good about the Niners in their situation. The two QBs, no QBs, it feels like this might be the first situation, two QBs, they can win with anybody.
Yeah, and if Brock Purdy comes back and does what Brock Purdy does, McCorkle Jones made himself a lot of money, because there's going to be a team, to your point, that has a poopy quarterback and is going to want a good quarterback. And if you put some good tape out there, especially in that Shanahan offense, which other offenses kind of mimic and have similar styles, traits, and I think languages, it's like Mac Jones might have just made himself so much money in being the belle of the ball this offseason in the free agency. But Danny Dimes is only on a one-year deal, too.
For now.
Let's remember that. Let's get that one done sooner than later. Let's think about getting that one done sooner than later, so Danny feels right at home, and maybe because he feels so at home, maybe he gives a little hometown discount. Maybe, maybe.
He likes having a good old line.
He has gotten
let's build this team up. Yeah, he has gotten paid. Let's build this team up. We understand what other teams are going to say to you. The same exact thing that we are going to say to you. It's like what the Colts were before you got here, brother, were a lot of talented players, but not an actual team. You were literally the glue in the straw that stirs the entire drink with maybe the best team in the entire NFL right now. This Indianapolis Colts team is going to be a fun story to follow along with, especially with Jim Irsay's passing right before the season, kind of like the win for the boss, basically, is what everybody's doing. And it's beautiful. And this guy has earned himself another probably couple $100 million. And that's the NFL, baby. Age, that's the NFL. That's why you're a Hall of Fame nominee.
Well,
that's why right there.
One thing I want to remind you, Pat, I want to remind you and all the rest of the Colts fans and the people that have jumped on the Colts bandwagon, if they do lose a game and say he doesn't have a great game and throws an interception or two, don't flush him down the toilet and say he's garbage. Because you know how it works.
They're definitely going to.
You know how it goes. First time they lose, you're going to say, we knew they were frauds all along.
No, Age, feels like that's what you want to say.
I do not ever want to say that. I don't like the roller coaster that is the NFL fandom. I don't get it. I don't like that. Just stick with them if you like them.
I just understand that this program potentially uses that technique to say stuff that they want to say. Did you hear that, boys?
Yeah.
Did you hear that a little bit?
Oh yeah, it's kind of like his first day here, almost, huh, AJ?
Yeah,
I guess so.
Yeah, I don't want to be the one to say it. Other people are going to say it, but Danny Dimes plays average one time. They're going to say it's a fraud. It's like, that's yours. Is that what you're saying?
That's not me.
H,
nah.
Do you not want to believe
those guys? Those guys got contracts too. They might jump a route and make a play once or twice. That doesn't mean it's his fault.
You're right. We got to remember that Danny Dimes is always on time. We got to remember that Indy Danny Dimes is in his prime. We got to remember that Danny Dimes is the man, even if he throws a couple, shite footballs. And that's going to happen throughout the NFL season. We have one turnover. No.
I don't know if
one punt, zero turnovers. One
bingo.
punt. So it's one turnover, which was a punt, basically. That's the only time we surrendered the ball. And I love that we are firing on all cylinders, but it's early. We got a lot of football.
Yeah, but that's like you also beat a good team, though. I feel like sometimes teams do start out 3-0, and it's like, we talked about the NFC West. They all played the Saints, and I'm nothing against the Saints. Saints are the worst team in football. So, like, when you look at the Colts were down at home against the Broncos. They come back and beat them. The Chargers basically did the same thing, just squeaked by them. We think the Chargers are legit. I mean, they beat the shit out of the Dolphins and the Titans, but you guys talk about it. Like, the games you're supposed to win are sometimes the difficult games to win. Like, they are just handling business across the board. Like, they might lose to the Rams. Rams are really, really good. It's on the road. Honestly, it might be a good time to lose if you are the Colts. But like, I'm at the point where, I'm at the point already.
We're thinking of 17-0.
Yeah, keep winning. Keep winning. Keep winning. I'm not saying go out there and lose. But like, even if they do, I'm at the points where it's like I think we can damn near crown the Colts as the AFC South champs, and let's see what they can do going forward.
Sure. I like to hear that because we haven't been able to say that for a long time.
Yeah, CJ Stroud, CJ Shites now. 2014 was the last time they won the division, I think.
11 years. It's been 11 years. So hopefully they figure it out. Let's talk about Jaden Daniels a little bit. Obviously, Marcus Mariota comes in with Cliff Kingsbury and does his thing. The Commanders all the way back as a real team. I think we all agree. After an incredible run. Jaden Daniels says it's up to the doctors when asked if he's playing. We have the video here.
It's up to the doctors, not my decision.
For you, I mean, where do you think you're at? And
feel good.
Nailed it. He feels good. Also, Terry McLaurin has been ruled out for Sunday, as Adam Schefter says that Jaden Daniels also out for Sunday's game versus the Falcons. So some breaking news out of the Commanders operation. Jaden Daniels seemingly wants to play. That's what I heard, AJ. Did you hear that?
Absolutely. He definitely wants to play.
Okay, so he wants to play. Doctors are telling him one more week. We'll probably be in a much better spot. It's still early in the year. He, though, also saw Marcus Mariota and his team do what they did and wants to get back out there with the boys and continue to get better, which I respect. Terry McLaurin also ruled out for Sunday. What's this from, Tone? Do we know what this is from?
From Terry.
Is it a core injury or something?
Yeah, because it was after last game or whatever. But, yeah, he's out. Jaden's out. They're 2.5-point dogs going down to Atlanta, who did not look good. But with Jaden, the whole thing, like we were just talking about with Brock, whether you bring him back right now or if there's a worry about losing, there is no worry that Marcus Mariota is ever going to take Jaden Daniels' job. So if that's something that's in his mind, I don't think it should be. He is the future of that franchise, and they're treating him like the future of that franchise and making sure he's 100% healthy before they bring him back.
That's what the doctors are saying, AJ. Sometimes the doctors and players certainly have different views on things. I like that Jaden in this era, okay, with all the information that we have, if you get another 6 days of recovery, which is another 6 days of hydration and nutrients, and if we supplement some of your blah, blah, blah for some blah, 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 we might lower the inflammation even more. And there's a chance that you feel better than you felt before the season here in 7 days if you just rest this game. There's a chance that conversation was had. Okay, that is the
I like the voice
the
you
world
gave the
that
doctors. I like the voice that you gave those doctors.
I wish I could pop some glasses on too to really do it some justice, but you know what I'm saying. That person has a job and thoughts as well, and with modern medicine and modern knowledge, which 15 years from now, something will completely contradict what we believe wholeheartedly in right now.
Yeah.
That seems to be the nutrition, body. Does anybody know shit about fucking that entire thing? I'm not 100% sure. But Jaden following up and saying, like, I still want to play. Like, I respect that. I like that that's still happening. I think that tells us everything we know and need to know about Jaden Daniels and the type of player he is. But it's a bummer that he's out for. And Terry McLaurin had a quad injury.
Yeah, he went and saw some other doctor. That one's interesting. I hope he gets back early. I mean, I don't know what it is.
Let's talk about some other injuries as well. John Harbaugh, talking about a staple for that defense, said he is concerned about
Matabuke.
Matabuke. There it is. Yeah, John Harbaugh.
I might be wrong.
Or Matabuke, I think is what people say. We apologize for getting it wrong, Namdi, if we do. Hell says, I am concerned about it, but I'm not in a position to comment on it. I haven't been given the okay to comment on it at this point. He's not going to play this week. I can tell you that. He's a massive piece of their defense. I don't love that quote, AJ.
No, it makes me, I don't know how serious it might be, but he's saying he's definitely not going to play this week. So
yeah, and there's been some stats coming out now, too, about the Ravens defense with and without him on the field. I believe they've given up like 0 20-plus yard runs and 1 10-yard run while Matabuke is on the field, and I think that was the games he played in last season. Hopefully that is the first part of that stat. The second part was I think they've given up 5 10-yard runs and 3 20-yard runs already this season. So Matabuke, you talk about like those players on defensive lines like a Vita Vea, like a Hutch, like a Micah, even though Mike is surrounded by other guys that are getting much better. Like he is their entire defensive line when it comes to stopping the run. And then you add Kyle Van Noy, their leading sacker, being out for the Ravens.
When's he coming back? Do we know?
I'm not sure. I believe both of them are out this weekend. So it's one of those things where you get 2 of those guys out, and now all of a sudden that entire defense just looks like absolute shite.
This is a part of it all, though, throughout the NFL season. It's so long. Whoever can remain healthiest is also a part of the story of who can be the best team. Hopefully everybody gets better. And I missed that Universe Bowl that said there was going to be no more injuries. So it's 100% on me. Yeah. AJ, the Hoffnom, will be shooting one at the end of the show to maybe turn things around for the good of football. Speaking of the good of football, Coach James Franklin sang this man's praises earlier about a couple points that I don't think have been brought up nearly enough. This man, who's quarterback for the Penn State Nittany Lions, chose to come back as opposed to going to the NFL. Had a job to be finished, and he's certainly here to do as such. He's been sitting in this room for the last 11 minutes. I had no idea. That is 100% on me. Ladies and gentlemen, starting quarterback for the Nittany Lions. Ladies and gentlemen, Drew Allen.
Yeah,
Drew. That big Drew.
Here we go, Drew.
Appreciate you, man. How you doing, dude?
You
are a big
awesome.
dude.
Big son of a
Holy
bitch.
Shit.
I don't like this at all.
This guy's
Let me
gigantic.
Tilt this up a little bit. Let me tilt this up a little bit, give you a little bit more space.
There you go. Get Gumpy's hat. There's Gumpy's hat in here.
Please, dude. Unbelievable. Thank you for joining us, dude.
Appreciate you having me.
Okay, so I don't know if you heard what James Franklin said last hour, but he literally said everything you want in a quarterback, this guy embodies it. Whenever it comes to leadership, when it comes to work ethic, when it comes to mentality, obviously the frame and everything's about it. What do you love about the quarterback position as the most, and how do you feel as the quarterback of the Nittany Lions with your coach saying all of those things about you?
Yeah, obviously I feel great about that. I think we have the best head coach in the country, and he's a big reason why I came back. Obviously I had that decision to make last year, but chose to come back for unfinished business and to play another year under Coach Franklin. He's a part of the reason why I came here in the first place. But I think just playing quarterback, I kind of had that untraditional path to it, just started in 8th grade, freshman year. So the reason I started playing it, honestly, was because we didn't have one my freshman year. So I grew up playing baseball, loved throwing the football and baseball in my backyard with my dad. So that's what kind of got me into it.
Okay, well, we appreciate the fact that you're an Ohio guy through and through. We need a quarterback. Well, shit, let's put this guy in there, and it certainly has worked out. When you think about the team this year versus last year, what do you carry into this year, maybe experience-wise from last year? And what this year do you think you guys maybe have that you didn't have last year?
Yeah, I think experience is always the number one thing. I know for me personally, going through everything that I went through last year, the highs and lows of everything, just being able to be in those situations and learn from it and grow from it, whether good or bad. And I think I can say a lot about that with all the guys on our team. Obviously, on offense, we returned a lot of guys. And I think, one difference that we got, we added players into our team, whether through portal or high school, that are going to make a big difference for us. And I think we have a great team that's all about winning no matter what. Like, I don't care if I have to throw the ball 50 times or hand the ball 50 times off a game. It's all about getting the win at the end of the day.
That selflessness is awesome, and that's what Coach Franklin was talking about with you and your mindset and being a teammate and everything like that. You mentioned the highs and lows of last year. I talked a lot about it. I don't know if you heard us talking about it. Much different position than you, end of season, had a bad game junior year. Had to deal with that all off season coming into my senior year. Much different position, obviously, much less operation, but still is all that I really thought about. For you, how the season ends for you and for the team. Off season, how do you attack that? How do you approach that? And what was your mindset?
Yeah, I mean, just going back to the grind. I think going back to the basics is how I've always operated, no matter if I had a great season, average season, or bad season. I think, that game last year left a bad taste in my mouth, and I think that can go for a lot of guys in our team. And that's a big reason why we all came back, because we knew we had unfinished business and, a couple of our games last year, and we were close to accomplishing a couple of our goals, and we fell short of them. But now it's about having another opportunity to potentially reach those goals and right those wrongs.
All the GOATs have had shitty moments. You need to know that. When the world feels like it's potentially crashing on you is actually whenever you can harden yourself the most. I'm happy you chose that way as opposed to letting it beat you. We're pumped that you're back here at Penn State. AJ has a question for you, brother.
Yeah, Drew, we had your coach on a little bit ago, and he always brings a bunch of energy, a bunch of juice. What's he like on game day? I've seen him go back. He's not scared to give it to officials.
He almost fought a guy.
Yeah, you guys might be up 70 points with 20 seconds to go, and he's going crazy. Yeah, fans run off the field. But what's he like game day from pregame all the way through the game? How much interaction do you have with him as well?
Yeah, we have a lot of interactions with him throughout the day in our hotel, especially with a night game coming up. We'll have multiple walkthroughs and that sort of thing, meetings throughout the day. So, he'll be interacting with all the players throughout the day. I think, really he's pretty calm when it comes to game days, but really intense and intentional with everything, especially the little details that kind of add up into, big things over time. I've caught a couple strays from him when I'm not in the game, when things don't go right on the field. But, that's what makes him great, and that's what drives us as a team.
Let's talk about the night whiteout. How excited are you guys for this? This is like legendary shit around here. Now you're getting a chance to experience one. 2 top 6 teams, first time ever. Your thoughts on it all?
Yeah, really excited. I mean, there's nothing like it. I think, I came here as a recruit during the whiteout when it was Auburn up here right after COVID. So, that was a electrifying stadium. And obviously been grateful to be a part of 3 whiteouts the past 3 years. And there's really nothing like it. I think, if you're a sports fan in general, no matter the team you are, going to a whiteout is definitely a bucket list thing that you have to get off your bucket list.
Pittsburgh native and friend with a lot of Penn State cultists. AP Tone has a question for you.
Yeah, Drew, I was listening to you talk at Big Ten Media Days this summer, and I believe you said you sat down with new defense coordinator Jim Knowles when he got there, and you guys went over game tape from your game against Ohio State and kind of how they'd attacked you. How weird was that, and how beneficial was that to kind of hear that from a guy that you went against the year before?
Yeah, obviously it's kind of, I don't think you really experience it all when you're in the position that we're in, but obviously very fortunate to have Coach Knowles here. I think he's made us better offensively, obviously being able to learn from him, and obviously he's made our defense really good as well. And I think, it's always been a great challenge of us going against his defense, and I think that's what was exciting me about when he joined our staff, is just being able to learn from a great defensive mind, because obviously as a quarterback I see the game more through the offensive lens than anything, and being able to learn from such a great coach that sees it maybe a different way, and just picking up tells and just different things that they did against us that were successful and why they wanted to do things was really beneficial for not only me but really our whole offense and our offensive staff. Choosing
to go get information from him and pick his brain, though, is a good trait. Not everybody's doing that, which I think you should acknowledge as a good thing. That is not everybody has that mindset to go, let me try to learn as much as possible, or the stick-to-itiveness, because that takes time to learn. How often what is your schedule? What is your schedule around here? This building is beautiful.
It is. Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm in here all day. There's really, I only got one class, online class.
What is your major?
RPTM, basically sports management. But
okay,
yeah, so
yeah. We're managing sports. Yeah, absolutely. Going to get in it. Yeah. We're doing. We're going to be the best ever at that too.
For sure.
RPTM.
Yep.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, RPTM.
RPTM. Yeah. I think that would have been my major as well around here, and it wasn't, except I'm happy you are here. But this place is beautiful. Obviously, we got the 2 massive fields, the turf field, the full field, and the indoor. I assume everything else is state-of-the-art around here. It's beautiful. This is your home, though, huh? The whole team like that? You guys feel like you hang out here a lot? How's the chemistry of the boys?
No, our chemistry is top-notch for sure. I think, the one thing that's special about football is just the locker room in general, and we always talk about how fortunate we are to have all the, obviously, like guys like you come here and be a part of our family now. And then obviously have all our lettermen that are either done playing football at the NFL level or owning businesses, or guys that are playing the NFL come back and always trying to just talk to us. I think, I have great relationships with guys that are either, just out in the business world or in the NFL world. And it's really cool to have a brotherhood like that.
You guys don't play cards, right? Your generation doesn't play cards?
Not much, no.
Oh, that's sad. I don't like that.
It's that damn Fortnite.
You ever heard
it? It is that damn. It is that. You ever play euchre? You're from Ohio.
I've never played euchre, no.
That makes sense. That after playing with people from Ohio, that does make sense. Let's go to the talks with you. Yeah, that's you, AJ. That's who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the way
playing euchre for 30 years, bro.
Yeah, but cheating. You've been cheating. If you go back home to Ohio and they ask you to No, it's not. if they ask you to play in a euchre game, if all of Ohio plays like this guy, they're going to cheat. They're going to be looking at your cards. They're going to be dealing from the bottom of the deck. They're going to be talking to their partner. Just know that Ohio is a cutthroat cards place.
Yeah, you got to find a way to win.
Okay.
There we go, Drew.
This guy isn't even.
All right, Drew.
This guy isn't even. Let's go to the toxic table. Connor has a question for you, Drew.
Yeah, Drew, you mentioned the previous whiteouts and how we all see how electric the atmosphere is on game day. What's it like leading up to it? Are there stuff, all throughout the week on campus that's kind of amplifying the game on Saturday? Do you guys round up a bunch of ducks and beat the hell out of them to get motivated to beat Oregon? I'm just trying to get is it a pep rally type vibe? What's it all about this week at State College?
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely feel the anticipation for the game building up throughout the week. I mean, if you go out to the country, you'll see just a bunch of RVs already parked out. I think they really started on Wednesday, just starting camping out there. And then, quarterbacks and tight ends went over to the stadium yesterday at Nittanyville to bring pizza to a couple students, or a lot of students, not a couple, but camping out for the game and just bring them pizza and provide them some food. But you can feel the anticipation really for every game day, but especially the whiteout.
They're sleeping on cement outside the stadium, right? That's what Nittanyville is?
Yeah. Intense, yep.
That's awesome. I love that. AJ, you got the last question for Drew as he gets back to preparation for the Docs team coming in from Oregon.
Yeah, Drew, how do you we talk all the time about getting out to a fast start. We asked Coach Franklin about it, all that. What do you do as a quarterback? Because obviously quarterback, yeah, you're juiced. You feel the energy, but you have to kind of calm yourself down. You have to figure out, all right, I need to dial in and I need to almost calm myself to start this game. What do you do, I guess, before a game, pre-game, to really feel you are where you need to be?
Yeah, I think for me, it really starts really on Monday. And then obviously with Coach K here, he does a great job of, giving openers to really the whole staff. And then he has me rank my opening plays of what I would want to call first early in the game. So I think that really helps me going into it because I already know what the first handful of calls are going to be in certain situations and, opening plays and that sort of thing. But I think on game day specifically, I listen to a ton of music and just try to stay
right. Who we listen to?
calm.
Who we listen to?
Drake all day.
Old
all
Drake,
day.
new Drake, every Drake?
It don't matter.
Champagne Poppy all day.
Yep, all day.
From the moment you wake up, what are we having for breakfast? Got a little eggs out there?
Yeah, like a little scrambled omelet.
Okay, then we take a nap?
No, we got walkthroughs, and then I don't like napping on game day, so I'll just watch college football all day and just reviewing notes.
Okay, I like that. Well, good luck tomorrow. We appreciate the hell out of you taking time out of your day here to stop by and say what's up. Thank you for the hospitality, and I appreciate your mindset through it all, man.
Appreciate that.
You've had to battle, and that's a good thing, not a bad thing.
Yep.
I'm excited to see you battle tomorrow. This
Appreciate
place is
that.
awesome. They love you, too. When he walked in here, there was so I had seen more people in a buzz in the room for 10 minutes. I was like, wow, everybody's just fucking moving into this room. It's because he was here, obviously. Guy's a rock star. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Drew out there, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right, Drew. Hey, the great thing for him isn't he's played a lot of college ball.
Oh, yeah.
Ton.
We see these guys get in the NFL, and guys that don't have a ton of college experience, all of a sudden, sometimes they may struggle. So this is going to be great for him. Do we have any projections over whatever's going on with him in the draft next year?
First round is the projection.
Just, I guess, depends how high he'll be.
Yeah.
How he finishes. And
this
the
early,
combine.
it doesn't mean shit, though. Last year, they were saying Quinn Ewers was going to go top 5. He got drafted in the 7th
So
round.
what happened with that? How does that happen?
That's a great
When
question.
you think top 5 and then he goes in the 7th round.
Apparently, it wasn't that good.
And apparently the scouts and media were wrong. Tell you what, I think they're also wrong about. What did Coach say is 6'5"? I think he's taller than that.
You think he's a gigantic human being. I wonder if he played any other sports.
He said baseball.
Sure, he played but he played basketball though. This dude 360 dunking like Cooper DeJean.
Probably.
Yeah, he's from Ohio. He's basically the next Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, but he's not too far from where Ben grew up in Medina, northeast type of Ohio. I think it's I play with some guys from
He's a good kid.
Some tough dudes. Tough kid, especially a big, tall, strapping quarterback like him. We'll look out for him. Pat, I think Pat's back after he and Drew probably took a selfie as well in that nice, beautiful backdrop.
Oh, my God. Hold on. It's not just – hold on. I just asked him if he's 6'10", that Drew Aller.
Yeah, holy hell.
He's huge.
He is so tall. Hold on. We got another legend here. Give me 45 seconds.
Of course,
okay?
yeah. Of course, we got another. It's a great tease for people that might not know. I don't know. Is there a Ryder Cup update from anybody here? Tone, do you know what's going on? You've been following?
Yeah, I saw that Sam Burns, and who was it?
Young?
Yes, Cam Young. Thank you.
Cam Young.
They both nailed huge birdie putts to go one up in their matches. And then I saw J.J. Spawn with that lab putter. He had a huge birdie putt. and then Rombo missed his eagle putt, so they stayed. I think Rombo's one up in that, but we are up one in 2 matches. They are up in 1 match, and the other match is all square.
Beautiful. We love it. Pat, what's going on over there in Happy Valley? You all set?
Ladies and gentlemen, a goat is here. Coach Nick Saban.
Yeah, Coach.
You hear the boys clapping for you over there? You hear the boys clapping?
Yeah, I love it.
He's a sound lad. Did you see Drew Aller walk through? He's much taller than I thought he was going to be. I knew he was tall. He's tall.
No, and very well put together, for a big guy. Interesting.
Okay, so
should be an advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. He's the prototype football player, I think, at quarterback position. People are obviously saying that. That's why they had such high hopes coming into the year for him. I just got a chance to chat with him both on air and off air about how that season ended for him last year. Obviously makes a bad decision, bad outcome, and that's how everybody's going to remember the whole year. That's the last taste in his mouth for the entire offseason. For you, whenever you're coaching a team that has that type of ending, do you think James Franklin obviously utilized that as motivation all offseason? And what do you learn about your players in those moments where it does feel like it's all over?
Right. I think you never want to waste a failing, with your players. So you definitely have to teach, from all of it. You can't just be emotional and let your ego get in the way and criticize people, and you have to always have a plan from a leadership standpoint for the future. Okay, so I'm sure James Franklin took, here's the things we didn't do well, here's what we need to do to correct them, this is what we need to work on in the off season, these are the sacrifices we need to make, the skills we need to develop, the habits we need to create, so that we actually can play better and finish against really, really good teams. So that's what I think good leaders do.
Never waste a failing, AJ. AJ actually was nominated for the Pro Football Hall of Fame this week, Coach.
Let's go,
I hope you get it, man. I appreciate you. That's great.
AJ, that's. Do you think you should get in?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's a lot of people voting yes.
Coach.
That's a lot of people voting yes. I don't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a vote, neither do I, but we're all saying yes. AJ has a question for you, Coach.
I do, Coach. Everyone's talking about the whiteout that's going to be happening Saturday night. I guess, can you describe how tough it is to come into a situation like that and for your offense, more specifically, to play in something that is so loud from start to finish the whole game?
Well, we played in a whiteout here, and it didn't help them much. But,
for most teams. It's tough for most teams.
That's because it was a big game.
When was that? Was it a night one? Was it a night one?
No, it was a day game.
Okay, all right.
All right, so I do think that the things that I always try to do with our team when we played on the road and we were going to play in a blackout, a whiteout, or whatever it was, is to emphasize to the players that the fans don't make any plays in the game. That there's going to be noise, and we're going to have to handle the noise like we do in all circumstances on the road. And that could have an impact on the game, especially when it comes to the offensive line, false starts, those types of things, putting you behind the sticks. But I really, really tried to emphasize to the players that, those circumstances, those external factors like a whiteout, really doesn't have any impact on the game. It's going to be about what you do inside the 53 yards wide and 100 yards deep that's going to make a difference in the game. And, you got to make these people sit on their hands. And you do that by good execution. So I was always taking the opposite approach. Now, if you don't handle that and you have a young team that's not very mature, they won't handle it very well. And it will have an impact on them because you have to earn your momentum when you play on the road. I mean, you're going to have all this emotion sort of going against you in terms of noise and all that. But you have to earn your momentum by good execution. That's, and you got to keep your players focused on that and not worried about what's happening out here.
I don't know if you saw Europe earn their momentum this morning against the U.S. in the Ryder Cup, Coach.
Not anymore.
Are we back? Are we back?
We're making a run right now, absolutely.
We're up in 2 matches, all square in 1 match, and they are up in 1 match.
Okay,
so I didn't even see the results. Did we get hammered this morning?
3-1. We're down 3-1 this morning.
We got 3-1 this morning, yeah. But President Trump hopped on Marine One whenever he saw the boys were done, flies him and his granddaughter over there. He is now currently sitting on the first tee letting everybody know this ain't what USA is. So I guess there's been a lot more pizzazz since his arrival this afternoon. Group has obviously done better, but we're all pulling for U.S. to be Europe in golf, a sport that you're very good at. Maybe you get into the senior Ryder Cup if that ever happens. Heard you got a good swing there. Heard you got a good swing there.
I can't hit it far enough to get in any cup.
Yeah, right. I think you absolutely would. Huge weekend of ball. Okay, we have a graphic of all the games both Saturday and Sunday, Coach. And I think early in the season here for the NFL, they tried their best to make big-time matchups. But with the new alignment of conferences, obviously this game is a conference game for the Big Ten. With the new alignment, the new scheduling, the new rules, the new college football playoff setup, we're getting massive games on a regular basis. How do you feel about this slate, and how do you feel about where college football is right now with the matchups?
Well, I'm all for playing more good games. I'm glad to see these teams going to 9 conference games, so you'll get even more matchups because they're going to play good teams. I don't think people really want to see you play teams that can't match up with you or don't have the same level of talent. So having games like this, I think, is exactly what the fans want to see, and I'm sure it's what a lot of coaches want to see. I mean, there's some of these teams that have not been tested yet.
On that note, Diggs has a question about maybe one of the teams in this particular game that has not been tested yet, and what the narrative has been about them maybe not looking their best. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, I do, Coach. Obviously, Penn State has not been tested yet. They have the easiest schedule so far in FBS, I believe. And then there's some talk about how they haven't looked great against these lesser teams. And there's a narrative, I'm not sure where it came from, that they're trying to be very vanilla so they don't put things on tape for this Oregon game. Do you think that's real? Like when you've been early in the season and if you had to play lesser opponents, do you try not to put things on tape that you know you're going to use against a better team later in the season?
Well, I think there's probably some merit to that. I mean, the thing that I always was most concerned about was not the other team, but how do we develop our team? What do we need to do to make our team better? And if we weren't throwing it very well or protecting very well or stopping the run on defense, those are the kinds of things that I wanted to emphasize regardless of who we were playing so that we're more prepared. It's almost like exhibition games in the NFL.
Preseason, yeah.
Yeah, preseason games. And you want to test your team to some degree to see, what are the issues, what are the problems, what do we need to fix here, what do we need to work on, and so that when you do play a team that can test you relative to their players versus your players, your players are going to be more ready for that. We always played a hard game first.
Did you guys schedule that because you wanted it?
Yeah, we did it because we wanted to do it. We started playing neutral site games, back in 2008, I think. And it really is what gave the program an identity. I remember we beat Clemson in 2008, in the opening game in Atlanta. And we weren't in the top 25. Nobody recognized Alabama for anything. Clemson was number 9. We beat them. So that helps your program. But the biggest thing it helps is the whole spring practice, summer conditioning, off-season, fall camp. Players are looking forward to the first game. So they are preparing themselves for the challenge that they're going to have in the first game rather than maybe being a little complacent about creating the kind of habits that they need to play really good teams when you don't play quite as good a competition.
They're actually talking about that with the NFL right now, as the NFL is scheduling more division games early in the year, that teams might have to take preseason a little bit more serious because off the jump, you're kind of behind the 8 ball. Chargers 3-0 right now in the AFC West. Obviously, everybody else, they start out hot. It's automatically implicating playoffs for them. Right. And I think the NFL is going to be trying to do that more. College doing that, I think, is a good thing. Both these teams, we'll see. Obviously, the Oregon team has won the Platypus Trophy. Okay, that's a top one.
Big one.
They already won it.
Yeah, but they haven't played anybody either.
They won the Platypus.
41-7 or something.
It's a tough
That's
game.
a good win in the Platypus Bowl. That's the Platypus Bowl.
Tough one.
I don't even know what that is. What is that?
There's a 10-minute video about it last week. Was that last week?
Yeah.
Was that last week on Games?
Yep. Basically got a PhD in platypussery.
Yeah, it's the top of a duck, the bottom of a beaver. That is a platypus. It is a trophy. It was on game day last week. Coach checked that. Coach said, you know what? It's hot.
I was taking a break.
It is hot as hell down here right now. It is hot. Ty Schmidt has a question for you about a massive game down in Athens.
Yeah, Coach, what do you think about Bama, Georgia this weekend? I feel like, typically, at least for people who aren't fans for either one of the teams, they think that this is going to be a defensive battle, but it's been quite the shootout the last several times both of these teams have played. How do you see this one shaking out, and who do you think has the upper hand?
Well, first of all, I think the line of scrimmage is going to be really important. When Alabama has struggled, especially on the road with some of these games last year and this year at Florida State, they had a hard time stopping the run. And, Kirby's going to be stubborn about running the ball because he doesn't want to put his quarterback in situations where they can tee off on him. But I also think that, Ty Simpson has played really well for Alabama. They've made a lot of explosive plays since the Florida State game. So I also think who can affect the quarterback? Who has the kind of pass rushers? Who can create the situations where you can affect the quarterback? That's going to be huge in this game. Can Alabama run it? Can they make the explosive plays? Can Georgia affect the quarterback? But I think it's going to be very similar for Georgia as well.
Kirby's a guy that we should just always assume is going to have his team in top contention just for as long as he's coaching down there at Georgia.
Yeah, well, I think the big thing you got to take away from the Tennessee, people talk about all the plays and, guy misjudged the ball and they made a big play, 4th and 6 or whatever it was, and he scored a touchdown. But how about the resiliency that their team showed in the game to keep coming back, on the road, over 100,000 people against them, and they just keep coming back and they keep playing. I don't know that you try to make that a part of the culture, but if your team doesn't have it, it's hard to get. And Georgia certainly proved to me that they have that kind of resiliency that you need to win big games and close games.
102,000, I forget what the number was, that were in there. I happen to be one of them. We stuck around because maybe we have a friend that's an alumni there, and there was a brand new part of the stadium being debuted. But he wasn't the only one. Everybody was back there. That was a homecoming type feel. Yeah, it had that type of feel there. And for Georgia to answer, and Gunnar Stockton, that might have been a moment for him. That might have been like a breakthrough moment confidence-wise for him, who you've liked since high school, right?
Yeah, I've always liked Gunnar because he's a great competitor. People can talk about maybe he's not the classic passer, but he's a great athlete. He can beat you with his feet. I think he's smart. I think he makes really good instinctive decisions. And I think he's going to do nothing but get better and better. And that game, last 2 weeks ago against Tennessee, their last game is going to do volumes for his confidence.
Not just his, probably the whole team, right? Do you believe?
Yeah, I think the team loves him. Now I think the team believes in him.
I like. Oh,
wow.
That's a bar. And congrats to Gunnar. That's coming from Coach Saban outside looking in. Feels like they're all in on you. How could you not? That throw is awesome. And we know he's a tough. I mean, he just lost his consciousness as soon as we were introduced to him. As soon as we were introduced to this guy, he gets on the field. What's his name? Gunnar. That's awesome. Where's he from? Georgia, playing for Georgia. Oh, do we got the next Stetson here? This guy's a little bit of a wild card. Let's see what we got. And then he just gets obliterated, loses consciousness completely. Then just gets up. Where's the ball? Where's the snap? It's like, this is what we like.
He took some shots in this game. Right
there.
there.
It is. As soon as we were introduced to him.
But this guy's from Raven County, man. That's where they made Deliverance, the old movie Deliverance.
Oh, yes.
So there's some tough folks there.
Okay, yeah, I certainly say there's some interesting folks there as well. Speaking of interesting folks, we watched there's a documentary out, an E60 documentary that you were actually a tease for before a commercial break. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, Lane Kiffin's E60 debuted this week, and essentially, while telling the story of his life, they do basically make you out to be, his savior damn near, because no one would touch him with a 10-foot pole after, all the situations that had happened. What type of relationship do you have with Lane now? Obviously, he's the head coach of Ole Miss. They got a huge one this weekend. He's telling the world to take the over. I think everybody probably should. How do you kind of look at things like that when, you have to sit down and talk about someone, and it's not a puff piece for you per se, but everyone's talking about how great you are after it. And also, is that the most important thing to you when you look back on your coaching career? The guys you kind of helped along the way, especially someone like Lane, who was at the top of the top and then basically got cast out, and then you helped rebuild them.
Well, first of all, I didn't watch the documentary because I lived it for three years.
I did it enough.
That was good enough for me. But anyway, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Lane. This guy is a great coach. I think at the station of his life, he had been a head coach. Now he's got to go back to being an assistant coach. And I actually think, that's a hard transition. I was a head coach at the University of Toledo for 1 year, and then I had to go back and work for Belichick as a defensive coordinator in Cleveland. It's a hard transition to go from being the boss to, sort of taking the orders from somebody else. But he did a great job for us. He's a great play caller. And I think he's matured, along the way. And I actually think he's a much better head coach at this station or even at the station where we had him, then he was an assistant. But he did a great job of being a very good assistant, for us. And I'm glad to see that he's overcome so much of adversity, some of it self-inflicted, to be able to...
Self-inflicted wounds, he calls it.
Yeah, to be in a position to have success. I mean, he's had success everywhere he's been since he's left Alabama, and he had a tremendous amount of success at Alabama. And it does, in fact, make me really proud to see guys that really did a great job for us when they were coaches on our staff to be able, because they all had goals and aspirations to become coordinators, head coaches, whatever, to be able to see them fulfill that. I always tried to make it good for the coaches so they never wanted to leave, but I also wanted to help them develop so they would get the opportunities that they wanted in the future.
And you always had somebody seemingly in line to get that job, because if you were blessed in the Saban Walters, normally good things will happen to you. You go down to Saban to pray.
Yeah, I get it. But I think what people...
We go down to Saban to pray. That's what you do.
But just one other point to make is some of these guys, whether it's Mike Loxley, Sark, Lane, whoever it was that sort of came in after a tough circumstance. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has flaws. And sometimes those flaws create consequences for you, but everybody should have a second chance and an opportunity to prove that they can do something of significance, because they would have never been in the position that they were in, head coach of Southern Cal, Washington, wherever it was, if they weren't very talented.
Tennessee, too. That's quite a moment. That Tennessee part of his life is pretty loud. And then Feinbaum, Tennessee fan, Coach Kiffin told us. So that carried into the USC. Miley Cyrus fired, not on a tarmac. Felt like that was a little bit of a lie, but certainly at an FBO. What a life. And he's got a big one this weekend. Huge game this weekend down there in the SEC. Multiple of those, not just Georgia, Bama. We were down in hot-ass Southern Florida. Gumpy actually has a question for you about the state of the Hurricanes and your guy, Coach Cristobal.
Yeah, Coach Cristobal has been really good for Miami, and they're off to a hot start. How do you think you keep that going, not let the rat poison, as you say, creep in a little bit?
Yeah, well, I think that's the challenge. How are people affected by all the external sort of praise that you get? And a lot of these young people now get a lot of self-gratification from external factors, what's on social media, what's on the internet, and all that kind of stuff. And can they stay focused on the things they need to do to continue to improve, as a team? And everybody's got to do it. You can't have half the team do it and half the team not do it, because you get complacency, it creates a blatant disregard for doing what's right. Then you create bad habits because you're not doing things the right way, and then it starts to show up in your play, and then eventually you get beat. We won 19 games in a row twice at Alabama, and the 20th game we lost. I can't sit here and say the other team was better than us. They were good, but they weren't better than us.
Yikes.
And we just didn't play very well.
But it was good for your team? Finally get a loss, a little perspective? Because whenever you win and play bad, that's also worst case scenario, right, for coaches?
Yeah, well, we needed to lose in both cases. We needed to lose. We were complacent. We weren't paying attention to detail. When you win, it's why we practicing today. When you lose, when are we practicing? There's a big difference in that.
There is a big difference, certainly. And also, a celebration can kind of cover up a lot of bad traits that are maybe taking place with your team. I'd like to let West Virginia football know we don't need any more losses.
Nope.
Okay, he said they needed a loss.
They woke up.
Yeah, Indianapolis Colts, we don't need any more losses. Okay, we don't need to ever lose again. Just so some teams win 19 straight, obviously, you need a loss. There's some teams that aren't in that. Well, we need a win. There's a little bit.
You got to keep winning. You got to get to that point.
You picked against West Virginia a couple times.
Yeah, I was sorry for that.
You were sorry for picking against them or for them?
I was sorry for picking against them.
Yeah, but then you still did it, though. You actually told me beforehand you were going to be sorry to do it, and you did it. And how about John Cena? What was that all about? Did you see that, AJ? Did you see whenever he hit me with the "you can't see me"?
I did. I appreciate Coach for doing that, actually.
That was awesome.
You know what? I cannot sit here and take credit for that.
Oh. Mr. Harry?
That was my host here giving me some coaching points.
No, no.
Work yourself into a shoot,
Yeah,
brother.
that was Mr. Harry. Here it is right there. I take Brock Lesnar after laying out the beast versus the GOAT. And by the way, I don't know if you kept up with it. I was right again. Okay. I was right again on the picks, on the Coors Light picks. And you hitting the You Can't See Me is one of the greatest moments I've seen on the internet. I just want to let you know that. Because there's so many different generations that have felt that. And the fact, boom. Not so fast, my friend. You dropped a Lee Corso.
Yeah.
Yes.
What a moment, dude. And then you ate out of an alligator, if you do recall. And we all lost 45 pounds of sweat. It was hot as shit down there.
It was hot, man.
But it was a great setup.
Yeah, it was. There was great enthusiasm. I think it's, a fantastic environment. I just want to see Miami get back. I think it's good for college football. I think it's good for the ACC that Miami is, a contender, in this day and age of ball.
I agree. All right, we're going to continue digitally as we wrap up here on ESPN. That's Coach Saban. We're in Happy Valley. College game day tomorrow, celebrating Oregon and Penn State, and a great weekend of ball. Good luck to America in the Ryder Cup. Have the greatest weekend of your life. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this for a living. We love you. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. We'll see you on Monday. Goodbye.
You got it.
Nailed it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got it.
Got a little delay. Hold on, we're still live, Coach. We're still live. He was like, "Get me the fuck out of here." Yeah, he certainly was. Yes, he certainly was. All right, Coach. We'll see. That's all we want to do. Ladies and gentlemen, Coach.
Thanks,
Coach.
That was awesome. I'm glad Pat. He really put his hands.
Yeah.
He probably got some great food waiting on him. A great lunch meeting
him
going on.
Getting off
doesn't he?
the show every Friday is something I look forward to.
It is fun, isn't it?
He's always like either just sitting there or just takes off. I love.
He's
it.
always dressed like impeccably, right?
Yeah,
like,
to the nines.
That word is right for that.
Yeah, probably has a bunch of fits, over the years.
Whoever his tailor is, somebody he's been working with for a long time, probably comes to the house, measures him, then sends him like 15 suit jackets.
Has a lot of that color in his closet.
He does seem to have a lot of that same tone, but that's a real Southern situation,
Well,
Crimson.
Yeah, Crimson.
Yeah, Crimson, right? I think that's right.
I think he coached at Bama for a while.
Yeah, Pat, I think you guys wrapped it up with Coach Saban. How's he doing? Is he still up there? Are you trying to hang around?
He's the man. I just forced him into taking a selfie with me, obviously. I heard Diggs talking about that there. He is spectacular, dude.
Yes.
Just as a human, everything. Like, he is fantastic. And it's been really cool just to hang out with him, watch him operate. This morning, he'll come in, and, he's had all these thoughts about what the game day show should be. He's watched all his film. So today is like a good time to just kind of get his thoughts on everything. The shit that he drops in there is just like gem after gem after gem after gem after gem. It is, it's really cool being around him. Very, very cool being around him. And we just took a selfie over here. Even it's a beautiful setup here, dude. Penn State, I've mentioned it a lot. They are all in on all sports, and that's only going to continue. Look for me to have a conversation with the athletic director, Pat Kraft. I don't know if we're going to record it or go live tonight. Something tonight. With me getting a chance to catch up with him, just kind of see what his plan was and how he kind of executes it. Because this is the future of college. This is college sports right now. And he's a middle linebacker who is now in charge of an entire university that wants to be fully committed and win at all sports. And they are embracing that, leaning in on that. I can't wait to catch up with him, but you can feel it around here, man. Everybody loves this place. And that's him. That's the athletic director for Penn State right there. 47 with a neck roll. James Franklin obviously chit-chatted about him seeing the picture the same way as him. It's a lot of alignment here. A lot of alignment. All right, I'm going to go to the bathroom on the other side. Let's make our picks, AJ. We're undefeated.
Yeah, we are undefeated. Here we go. We're seeing the field.
We might have a perfect slate, you and I, this weekend.
Great chance. There's actually a very good chance we do.
76 or 74% at one point yesterday on the Seattle Seahawks. It hits. Maybe the sports books maybe they're fucking done.
Yeah, they could be.
We're going to bankrupt them for sure.
Hey, I'm pretty excited for. Aren't you, this is good. Much better than last week. Remember last week we both had to be like, last night doesn't matter because we start off cold. We're hot right now.
It's good to get it's like the Ryder Cup. It's like Bryson's tee shot. Even though he didn't end up winning that one, but still.
That's not a good analogy. They didn't win.
You're right. It's not.
Age.
We're live here. We're live. We're spitballing.
Yeah.
I think he might take it off. I heard Gump possibly fart too. Hey, take 5, take 3. We'll see you in a little bit. Man. Come on back.
We're still bringing it.
Highlight every bridge I
see here just to watch it burn. If you've seen all the hell I've seen, it make your stomach turn. I think you know why I do what I do when I do.
Started with 133 teams vying for one of these coveted 12 spots for this 12-team playoff, and it came down to 2 teams in the great state of Indiana kicking this entire thing off.
I might drink a little, I might smoke a lot, counting down the good times, staring down the clock, throw some high.
The best year of college football that it's ever had is about to have the greatest playoff it's ever had, and it all starts right here in front of Touchdown Jesus and his beautiful Irish people. And I think if you say, "Go Irish!" Hoosiers! They'll do that all night. If you make this kick, I will double his kick to $500,000. I will also donate $250,000 to a charity of Chris Daly's choosing. Yeah, let it go.
Oh, God.
Not terrible. Not terrible. Proud of you. One kick, $750,000. The Lord is watching you.
Man down. Man down.
That's all right.
$1 million. And there's a bunch of that have invaded.
There's a lot of them. We don't just beat top 25 teams, we beat the shit out of them.
Okay. Google here.
But one thing you didn't learn from me is talking all the shit you talk.
Welcome to the most electrifying atmosphere in all of sport. I know European soccer fans are wild. That's like 30 to 60,000. You're about to see all weekend 100,000 plus bananas atmosphere, and that is one part of the reason why college ball is so damn great. Why are the girls here?
Is this not a fun show? No serious show. Serious football. Alabama Jones is very serious.
You know, he was trying to be funny, which I get it. And, you know, my daughter Kristen loves him, so that's kind of soothed the soul a little bit that somebody in our family likes the guy.
I choose to believe. In front of Touchdown Jesus and everybody looking down. IU gets a massive win over Notre Dame. Shane, I'm sorry.
You're a real scumbag. I thought Coach Cignetti coming out here was a real disgrace to the game. He left his players in the locker room to go get some camera time for himself. I know a legend like yourself would never do something like that. Would you?
No.
No, it's disgusting. I saw it. I thought, wow, what a sad, disgusting program. Notre Dame by a million. Go Irish.
Riley Leonard and the Irish from their own 2. Jeremiah Love breaks free. Jeremiah Love trying to go 98. Touchdown!
Might be fiction for a blowout here, fellas.
Couldn't wait to get to the wonderful state of OH! OH! In the SEC, coming up to the Big Ten, when it's cold as hell, we shall settle the conversation here in beautiful Columbus. Coach, that hairline, you get a haircut every day?
Not every day. Not every day.
Big beard, big boot, Peters in tow, 500. Oh, this guy sucks. Holy, this guy's the worst we've ever seen. Just took out the Ohio State cheerleaders. $1 million here, JD level. Yep, this guy sucks at kicking, but we appreciate the hell out of you, JD.
Hey, Jay Hall. There he is.
He has once wiped 100 times.
What? What?
Yeah, 100 times. There are actually people out there, psychos obviously, that like the non-frosted Pop-Tarts. Gary's probably one of the best football players I've ever been around. Non-frosted strawberry Pop-Tarts.
I like non-frosted Pop-Tarts.
I like non-frosted Pop-Tarts.
Now, I, at one point this year, was the mayor of Conktown. You were the mayor? Mayor of Conktown, yeah. They voted me in there, and this is my
How do you become the mayor of Conktown?
You just got to go around and say, listen, I heart cock.
hard cocks. Sorry, numerous. Whenever we found out that there was going to be a college football playoff game in Columbus, Ohio, we were all jacked up to see this Ohio State faithful be showcased to the entire world about how much they love football. Then we walked out here to this game day set this morning, and it was like, Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home. Well, in that song they say it's home. Home for me is the North, and the cold is going to be Dahn. Give me the Ohio State Buckeyes representing for the Big Ten.
How cool was Sean Perkins, the Ohio State football team, for allowing us to hang out in their facility pretty much all day Saturday? They had 5 TVs set up, a bunch of recliners. Roosters supplied some phenomenal food.
Arctic temperatures. AJ Hawkins on 2 moments. Darius Butterfield South Florida. He's fucking 84. You can check up on him about 34 to 44. It's all we want. It's all we. It is. It is now.
Handoff on the Travion Henderson in the open field. Travion Henderson is scoring another ton for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Story of the game thus far as Chip Kelly is going mad dummy, bruh. All of Ohio is excited. They were singing long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart. First read, second read, third read, scramble, ball on the ground. Check down. Would hate to be a Tennessee fan or a chair near Morgan Wallen because they have no hope right now. Well, Howard, check. Jeremiah Smith, touchdown!
By and large, these games have absolutely stunk, Pat.
Peter Herbstreit raising an absolute hell.
A couple people up here with that smoky orange face paint on that are feeling like real assholes right now.
As we look to the exits, and the Volunteers fans are saying, get my ass back to the South. This one's over. Bounces it. Touchdown! Ohio State. Boys, that was wide ass open. He's got left hand. 500 drones. Ones that we know about. This game's over, but we're still bringing it.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink.
Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life.
Hour 3, the Pat McAfee Show. I'm AJ Hawk sitting in for Pat. He's in Happy Valley. Huge matchup for college game day tomorrow night. Oregon, Penn State. Football! It's what we're doing, right, Pat? Here we go, hour 3. How was Coach Saban? I know he got out of there pretty quickly. Was he all right? Did he have a lunch meeting or something?
Yeah, I think Coach Saban's always wheeling and dealing. He might have a Ferrari to be sold, or maybe a Mercedes-Benz, maybe some film to watch, or maybe just a business meeting to navigate through. But the room that I'm in right now, not just James Franklin's door here, feels like I'm getting to know the entire on-campus recruiting staff, the NIL staff. I just got gifted a hat. Lock the duck in, I guess, because James Franklin has been quoted before saying, lock the fuck in. So you get it, you just put a D there, and then you put the duck on there. I can zoom in, actually, I think, on this thing. Let me go ahead and zoom in on this. Nope, that's out. Oh, no, don't get too sick. All right, look at that. LTDI. Lock the duck in. You see, that is a play on locking the fuck in, but you also lock the duck in because they're coming to town, and we got to do this such. Now, the hat is not a crappy hat. It is actually pretty well put together. It feels like it wouldn't be like cartoony on my head if I was put on, large-brained person. But I will save this for after the game to see if they actually lock the duck in or if the duck fucking gets out and gets loose. Which is certainly possible with this Oregon team, but I love the business. This is a full business. They're treating it as such. This is what everybody is aspiring to become, and I got a chance to meet like a lot of lot of young Penn Staters here that obviously bleed for this place, but are also working their ass off for this place. It's been a really cool day. Let's go to the toxic table at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer. Dahn! Cowboys. I don't know how big the delay is. Sometimes it feels bigger than other times. That's AP Tone there. And AJ Hawk, on Fridays, there's one thing that we have to do for society. And obviously, we'll utilize the other half of the Hammer. Dahn!
Okay.
Cowboys Gumpy in this entire process. But it's time to make our picks against the entire slate. And this weekend, we have NFL happening at 9:30 a.m. We have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers in Dublin Town, Ireland. Vikings favored by 2.5. Obviously, the Steelers are beloved in that country. The ownership has actually been an ambassador there. The amount of Irish people in Pittsburgh is alarming. Are the Minnesota Vikings going to go in there with Carson Wentz at quarterback and steal the entire country from the Steel Times? Let's go to AP Tone. Tone, where do you fall on this particular game?
I actually feel good about this one because, the last time I felt really good was against the Seahawks, so we'll see how that goes. But I don't think Carson Wentz is good. So sue me there. I don't want to live in a world where Aaron Rodgers loses to Carson Wentz. I just in Ireland with
it's 11-11.
Yeah, well,
with hopefully the spirit of Mr. Rooney is there, and I hope it's a good day. I hope it's an easy day. There hasn't been a lot of easy days for Steelers fans, and I'm hoping this one is.
Okay, yeah, Minnesota Vikings, obviously the team to have an easy day against, of course. What is this, 5-6 years ago? Tom Pelissero tweeted, the Steelers added running back Jalen Warren with a knee to the injury report. He's questionable for Sunday versus Minnesota. Johnny Smith and corner Joey Porter Jr. also questionable, but I did see Joey Porter Sr. over in Ireland. And I saw Kiesel over there. They're hanging out at Mahin's places, and it feels like the vibes in Ireland are electrifying. I will take the Minnesota Vikings -2.5 at 9:30 a.m. against the Pittsburgh Steelers in Dublin, Ireland. KOC came on, was awesome. I believe in Carson Wentz because I seen it. I seen it with these eyes. When he's playing good, he's unbelievable. If KOC can harness that bucking bull into making the right decisions on a regular basis, there's a chance that Carson Wentz sees this middle of career resurgence that we've been seeing amongst a lot of quarterbacks. AJ, do you see it the same way I'm seeing it?
Man, I thought we were going to see this one similar, but I don't think so. I'm taking the Steelers here plus 2.5 on the road. I feel Carson Wentz is going to play. He might be all right, but I think TJ. We know he's been rolling this last game. TJ's going to do it. I think this D line steps up for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and let's find a way to win, boys.
So only one of us will be perfect, I guess, this week.
I guess.
Damn it!
Unfortunately.
This is the first game. It's a 9:30 game, and we're already seeing things the opposite way.
I didn't want to do it.
I thought we all understood what was going on. KOC, Carson Wentz experience, we're doing it. Pittsburgh Steelers fans, not exactly thrilled with what the Pittsburgh Steelers have been. It's Ireland, a lot of hype, maybe some distraction. The Steelers are staying in a fucking castle. Okay, we all saw where they're staying. It's beautiful.
A lot more Steelers fans in the park, right? Than there is
I would assume.
Well, that's the assumption, but I believe there is actually a Gaelic law going back to ancient Ireland that says if there is a red-haired quarterback and you don't root for him, you get your tongue cut out.
Oh.
Yep. If there is a leprechaun, no matter the size, playing quarterback for the team, you cheer for said team.
Yeah, it's a law.
We found that out when we went over there. Obviously, that got lost in all the drunk escapades. And shout out to Dublin, Ireland, showing up once again. We assume it's going to be electrifying. Let's go to the Saints and the Bills. Bills favored by 14.5 at home. That is a hilarious spread for Week 4. Tone, 14.5. Oh, is there history behind how big of a spread this is this early in the season?
It's the biggest one so far in this season. Obviously, we've had back-to-back weeks where we've had an 11.5 or a 12. This one was started at 16.5. You can actually get it 15.5 across the board now at a lot of places. It is a ginormous one, and you can see it right there. Largest underdogs they've been in an NFL game in 40 years. So it's pretty historic for the Saints, at least.
Give me the Buffalo Bills. AJ, who do you think?
Yeah, give me the Buffalo Bills. I have to. I love the Bills. I think they win by 21, I guess.
Me too. It's hard. This is one of those ones that Tone talks about and the Gamblers talk about. When we wake up the next day, we bet with the Bills, not with the
T.
Like
you're right.
That is exactly, Connor. Right?
Yeah.
You're feeling the same way.
Yeah, exactly. Like I cannot, in good faith, as a human being, bet on the Saints in Buffalo. And the Bills don't have Ed Oliver in the middle still, and they still don't have Matt Milano. And if this was 29.5, I would still, as a human being, have to bet on Buffalo.
Yep.
Yeah, just because we got to wake up and look in the mirror, you know. And if the world was mirrorless, okay, I'd take the Saints this weekend. But
amen.
Since my house has a mirror, and I got to wake up the next morning and look at it, and there's a discussion that takes place. Holy shit, you look like you're 60 years old. Oh, good morning. Then you can't do the entire thing, you know. And then there's a why.
It's Josh Allen.
Everything.
Bills. How do we pick against them? Yeah.
Exactly. That would be the first thought. Before I even brush my teeth, it would be what? Kelly Moe?
It's the best team versus the worst team. Like this spread cannot be big enough to pick the Saints. There's no number out there.
What's the percentage out there? I assume Bill's still heavy, even if it's 14.5. You said it was 16.5 and it's gone down to 14.5. Now it's at 15.5 across the board, Tom?
Correct. Yes. And the money is on 64% on the Bills.
Okay. All right, so we get it at minus 14.5, right? Because when we made this pick, we were looking at the graphic. AJ, you agree?
Yes, absolutely.
Even though that's not what the line is and nobody else can get that, we'll take that for our little game. Here, Eagles, Buccaneers. Eagles down in Tampa Bay, favored by 3.5. Ty Schmidt, what are your thoughts on Coach Sirianni going down into Tampa Bay as 3.5-point favorites?
Well, I believe the Eagles have historically had a bit of a tough go down in Tampa. And I don't know, this Tampa team feels a little bit different. They just feel a little bit different for whatever reason. All these, final drives, Baker's marching right down the field and scoring, and then on top of that, they've had that makeshift line. They're supposed to allegedly be getting Wirfs back this week, and Chris Godwin. We obviously know how good Ibuka's been. So, I'm sure the Eagles will be ready to go, but this is kind of got game of the week written all over it.
Rick Stroud, obviously the Tampa Times, keeping us updated on what's going on down there, and we appreciate him doing that. I like the Buccaneers plus 3.5. Even if the Eagles win, I like Buccaneers at home plus 3.5. AJ, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with you on this one. I like the Buccaneers as well at home plus 3.5. I love Baker. I like that Godwin is back, and if Wirfs is playing and he's 75% or more, I think that's great for the Bucs.
Man, I'm starting to get a real good feel about how I'm seeing these games. Titans, Texans favored by 7.5 at home. Over under 38.5.
Jeez.
Hey, obviously 38.5. That is a low number. I just saw something from Dan Lebitard's show with Diana
Rossini.
Rossini, there it is. I'm so sorry, Paisana. There. She said she's writing about CJ and the Texans and basically said something along the lines of they still haven't been able to click and they're trying to figure out the offense. And then she said there's some things going on that we'll learn about. Who knows what that means? She was teasing a thing she was writing, I think, whenever she was talking. So who knows what we found out, what we haven't found out. CJ GJ gets kicked off the team. It seems like cut off from the team out of nowhere. Who knows what leads to that in its entirety. And it just feels like after getting killed by the Colts, like maybe Titans keep it within a touchdown with the Texans. Rivalry game, division game. Your thoughts, AJ?
Yeah, 7.5 for the Texans are 7.5-point favorites. Like that seems a bit wild to me right now. And the Rossini situation too, like it has me intrigued. Good tease by her. I'm not sure what they're talking about, if it's a health thing or what it possibly could be, but I am fully on board with Cam Ward and what he is doing. Give me the Tennessee Titans.
Okay. Look at us seeing this thing. You took the Eagles or Tampa Bay? You took Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay, yeah. The only thing is the Steelers one we've disagreed on.
All right, so we'll see. Chargers and the Giants. Chargers favored by 6.5 in MetLife. Over under 43.5. Let's go to Bruce Jackson Dart starting. What do you think that means for the rest of the boys for the New York Giants as a Giants faithful, Foul?
Jack City, bitch. Jack City, bitch. I think we keep it close in the first half. I think we probably go into halftime tied. The first half line is Giants plus 3.5. I prefer that one. Full game, we probably find a way to lose. It'll probably be something asinine, maybe a rough in the passer, get them into field goal territory, something like that. But yeah, I think we hang tough, but eventually it probably slips away from us.
Okay, so I like the Chargers. Who's the defensive coordinator there?
Jesse Minter. Yeah, he's going to put him in a body bag.
You feel the same way, it sounds like.
Yeah. This is one of those like, hey, can I bet on the Giants to score less than 10 points type games? I love Jackson Dart. Think it's going to work out. Think he's going to save Dayball's job as well. I just think Jesse Minter and John Harbaugh, if you were to go in line of teams and coaches and D coordinators, you want your rookie QB to start his career with, they've got to be, bottom 3 on that list, right? Probably the worst. I guess maybe you can put up, maybe like Todd Bowles would probably be terrible for a rookie QB too. But I mean, that sucks for the Giants. I love the Chargers.
Giants over under for total points is 18.5. If you would like to bet,
there you go.
A little high.
JJ looking at me down there, Mario Robinson walking through, and Eagles walking through. Hey, team, good to see you guys. Have a great game. Hell yeah. It's going to be an honor to watch you guys. Have a great season. Hell yeah. So, 6, 7 footers walked out of this hallway. I don't know who the fuck they are. Just walked out of this hallway and then went this way. And then the entire NBC crew just kind of walked through that's during the game. And hell yeah. Oh yeah, Todd
Blackledge.
Todd Blackledge.
There he is. Todd, thank you.
For Penn State, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's back home. It feels like he has a little spunk to him, He's back here on his ground. I got the Chargers. AJ, who do you have?
Yeah, I love Jackson Dart. He's going to bring some juice. I think Scatterboo is going to dent a few helmets and body parts of other people, but I will take the Chargers.
You guys can get the Chargers at 6.
We like it.
We like that. We would like them at 6, maybe 5.5 if you can find.
Yeah, if you can find that.
Let's go to the Browns and the Lions. Lions favored by 9.5. Okay,
Jeez,
this one
way too many points, gentlemen.
It's a lot of points.
Give me the Browns plus 9.5.
Give me the Browns too here. I'm taking the Browns.
There's a 10.5 out there actually.
Yep.
You get the Browns at 10.5.
I'll take that.
I got a tidbit for you guys though. This might change a little bit.
Okay.
Halftime show is Mitchell Tenpenny in Detroit. That might change some things here.
Nope.
Mr. Tenpenny, what was his? I take the tequila time. I want a tequila time. What was
someone
his?
sing it? Can someone sing his stuff? Foxy, maybe?
That was it. Pat just did it, actually.
Yeah, AJ, I'm trying to find it. You can help me out here. I think it's I want.
He's actually,
I want a tequila.
He's actually opening for Jordan Davis these days. I saw.
The football player?
God.
Yeah, it's a great player.
He comes out before
Opens
him?
the stadium, yeah.
No, fucking buy dirt.
Yeah. Oh, I thought Mitchell Tenpenny was the guy that was actually opening the hole for Jordan Davis. Whenever you see field goals happen for the other team, Tenpenny's driving the guard, and then Jordan Davis is coming up. So he is open for him there and also on the road. Musically, Tenpenny turning the boys up there at halftime. Might fucking change a little something. Is Kid Rock going to be with him?
Let's assume so.
Yeah, Bob will always be there in spirit. Something to think about also with Cleveland. Great defense at home. It's awesome. The Ravens did hang 45 on them, or 42, whatever the hell it was.
Great offense.
Great offense. And then the Lions just beat the piss out of the Ravens. So I'm just saying, 10.5. There's a reason the sports books made 10.5 after the Brownies just beat the Packers. I'm just saying.
And devil's advocate.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say devil's advocate would be that the Browns defense might be the best of all time. So, and in years past, yes, we know that's kind of a home field split. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be taking it on the road this year. I think Jim Schwartz actually told them, hey, this year, I think we're going to also take the good defense on the road as well because our offense is absolute shite. Whatever you do, don't pick the Lions because fucking Mitchell Tenpenny is in the house, okay? Let's just get that out there.
We don't know that, Ty.
You get a picture of Tenpenny?
Ty, we don't know because there might be a ball with the ball, the bang.
That's different.
I agree. That's different. If it is Mitchell Tenpenny with Kid Rock, then I'm good. But guess what? Bob Ritchie ain't ever getting fucking second billing to Mitchell Tenpenny. So we would know. We would know if Kid Rock was there.
What if he comes out though and has a remix to that we don't even know, and he goes, "My name is Mitch," and he starts out with that entire thing.
Good.
What if he is ball with the ball and in that? What if he's covering Kid Rock the entire time?
Yeah,
does that count?
If that's the case, yes, that would count. So, but is this number going to move before now and then? If that happens, do all of a sudden are the Lions, I don't know, 20.5 point favorites? It's possible.
Lions.
Can we get his set list? Sorry, go ahead.
No.
We need to know if he's covering Kid Rock.
We can get a set list. Also, the Lions OC Johnny Morton was talking shit on the Browns defense. So see how that.
Johnny Mo?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, they ain't never seen a run game like ours.
They ain't seen a run game like ours.
What do you know, Johnny Mo? Huh? Okay, I like that.
Love that.
Miles Garrett heard that.
He
I'm
did.
sticking with the Browns. I'm sticking with the Browns. I think obviously Lions win. Congratulations, especially Mitchell Tenpenny delivering a Kid Rock tribute that we have never seen before. But I like the Browns plus 10. AJ, you as well?
I do like the Browns plus 10, but man, I hope Mitchell Tenpenny sees this little seg and he actually covers at least one song of Kid Rock.
He's been on the show before.
I don't think Tenpenny's
gimmick
is ball Tenpenny.
Just like 10 and just like 10.
Sound it out. THEN.
I'm just wondering. Is that on his birth certificate, or is this
Tenpenny?
something that some
Yes.
big exec gave to him?
No, it's
Hold on, please. We need to show some respect. The 10 pennies, big deal, I think, in Nashville and music creating as a whole. I think the 10 penny family is very active down there in Music Row.
Please,
I think they're
I don't know
very,
anything about this.
Feel stupid yet?
Well, yeah,
No,
that's called ignorance.
No, it's called
Okay,
it's called being curious. Sorry, I'll ask questions my whole life, guys.
Well, you
know
should be
that.
judgmental,
You didn't
not
ask
curious.
the question.
I should be judgmental.
Be judgmental, not
You didn't-
curious.
You're right.
You didn't ball with the ball at all there. Carolina Panthers taking on the New England Patriots. Conman favored by 5.5 after what the Panthers just did to the
5-point
Falcons.
favorites?
How do we feel?
Oh, yeah. Patriots should have beat the Steelers by 2 touchdowns, without a doubt. I would say the DC for the Patriots, he's probably going to be done for the year. He just got diagnosed with prostate cancer, unfortunately. T's and P's to him.
Man.
That sucks. But I think Gonzalez is back on the defense. Drake May quietly is having an unbelievable year. Hopefully they can win some games, so it's at least has some weight going into the offseason. But no, I love the Patriots this weekend.
5 turnovers last week against the Steelers, 2 of them in the end zone. So 14 points literally off the board for the New England Patriots last week. We assume that it'll get better. T's and P's to the defense coordinator probably means Vrabel's going to be a little bit more hands-on on the defensive side, which, I don't know how much of a let-off there'll be or any difference there'll be. I like the Patriots minus 5.5, AJ.
Yeah, with all that being said, I think, Patriots turned the ball over 5 times, still only losing by 7. Yeah, I think that's a positive. There's a very small chance I think they turned over 5 times again, so give me the Patriots here.
The Washington Commanders with Marcus Mariota and without Terry McLaurin. That sucks for them. Without Jaden Daniels, without Terry McLaurin. Taking on an Atlanta Falcons team that just got absolutely schmacked right in the mouth. Bad. One of the worst games in the history of the NFL. And Penix obviously is going to take his lumps as he continues to grow as a starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons. Washington Commanders, what's the vibes on it? Gump, what is the vibes on this particular game? 1.5, your Washington Commanders, Atlanta Falcons. This game you wouldn't bet? Is that what you're thinking?
No, I think it's a good bounce back spot for Atlanta. They marched into Minnesota just 2 weeks ago and beat the shite out of them. I think the Falcons get right. I don't think Mariota has back-to-back wins here.
Okay, so you think that maybe there's a water fine that's level for both these teams?
Absolutely.
Maybe Atlanta's not as bad and maybe Washington's not as good. AJ, who do you like?
Oh, boy. This one's a little tougher for me, but I like Washington Commanders. I love what Mariota's doing, taking on his old squad. Remember how that whole situation when he left the team and all of that?
The film quarterback that season.
Yeah. I like the Commanders here.
Oh, I forgot about a revenge game. Falcons corner AJ Terrell.
Yep,
Yeah.
Terrell. You nailed it. Terrell, you got it.
AJ Terrell is out for Sunday's game versus Washington due to his hamstring injury. I'll take the Washington Commanders as well, even though Gumpy said the complete opposite. Colts and Rams. Weird to know which way I'm going. 2.5. No, it was 4 or 5, wasn't it?
No, I'm saying sorry. You can get the Commanders plus 2.5.
Okay, Commanders plus 2.5. I think we'll both take.
they're dogs.
And then the Colts and the Rams. Can I get the Colts plus 4, maybe plus 5, maybe plus 6 or 7?
You can get the Colts at plus 3.5.
What?
That's unbelievable. I do appreciate the fact that the best team in ball is getting 3.5 points on the road. And whose house? Somebody needs to ask dirty. That's going to be the Colts' house. Okay, Colts fans are about to travel like they're Green Bay Packers fans, like they're Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Okay, they're about to fill that place up.
Okay,
Colts are about to be. This is our time. This is our team. And they're going to bleed blue. And you know who that's bad for? You, Los Angeles Rams. Give me the Colts plus 3.5 in a hostile environment at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, here, Alec Pierce, he's out with a concussion. Is that right?
You tell me.
Yep.
Oh, son of a bitch.
His head hit the ground twice on that one play.
So hard.
I want to take the Colts here, I really do, but I'm taking the Rams at home.
Okay.
Okay, thanks, AJ. Yeah, we heard about what you said about Dimes.
What did I say
Jacksonville.
about Dimes? I've been pumping Dimes up the day they picked him up. You know that.
You've been waiting on his downfall, bro.
You've been
praying on his downfall.
Praying on his downfall. I have not prayed.
Yeah, you've been praying on his downfall.
I am
You said,
always Danny Dimes.
No, you're not, bro.
Danny Dimes doesn't play perfect. People are going to start asking if they're frauds. That's what you said in the first hour. Unbelievable.
Capping, bro.
Just like that. Exactly how I said it.
That's exactly.
That's how Hoffnam talks. Yeah, because he's capping. Ain't that right, Connor?
You do be capping, bro.
Straight.
Can somebody explain 6'7"? I don't think I fully.
I asked that question.
One is one now too.
I couldn't get an answer.
Mitt's got.
I've never felt older in my life than whenever watching that go around. I honestly, my daughter's too young, but I guess she's close to knowing what this means. I don't know. I don't
We should have Mitt explain. That's what the young kids are talking about.
He doesn't know what.
Jacksonville, yeah. Well,
6'7",
it
yeah.
could be.
I once like 5, 8.
I once counted to it.
Their numbers.
You know why 6 was afraid of 7 is 7, 8, 9. So you don't want to be eaten like Pac-Man. Jacksonville taking on the Niners. Niners favored by 3.5. There's some news coming out of San Francisco. I just read a tweet that was up here. Coach Kyle Shanahan told KNBR, we're on your side, that QB Brock Purdy is progressing towards returning the field on Sunday. I think the toe is feeling better each day, and if that continues, he should be good on Sunday. They can also shoot that thing up. Brock Purdy back in the lineup for San Francisco. We will assume, is that enough for them to win by at least 4, unless there is a different spread that we're not knowing about right at this moment?
There are 3s out there if you would like the Niners.
AJ, who do you like?
I like Jacksonville here.
Wow.
Wow. Shit.
Yeah. I'm just that's my instincts. I'm trusting my instincts here.
Smart.
You like Liam Cohen?
I do like Liam. I like Trevor Lawrence. I think maybe
You like Shad Khan?
I do like Shad Khan. I cannot wait for a post game.
Yes.
Well, he didn't do it last time they won.
He didn't do it last game, yeah.
Or they didn't
Well,
put it out.
I think he actually. I think he had the recording on his phone, and he walked around and showed everybody when they're at the law.
That's a good idea.
I heard
Fish.
It's not a bad idea.
Smart man.
I like
Still
that.
Yeah, he
So does
created
ringtone.
bumpers.
So
Yeah, exactly.
This guy created bumpers. He's going to come up with ideas, obviously. I'll take Jaguars plus 3.5.
The Bosa injury is partly why I picked the Jags as well.
That's good.
What am I doing? Salah versus Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Pearsall added to the Ricky injury report yesterday.
questionable?
He's hurt. Jennings still on the report. He is banged up. I think Brian Thomas Jr. is the biggest one for the Jags.
All right, I will take. Is Kittle? When's Kittle? He's done?
He's on IR.
Yeah, he's out.
So he's got, 2 more weeks?
At least, I believe, yeah.
Yeah. 1, 2.
Christian McCaffrey, how's he?
He's been great.
He's good to go.
Solid.
They haven't scored a running touchdown this season somehow.
Christian McCaffrey's actually on pace to touch the ball more than anybody in the history of ball.
Yeah,
I think
man,
that's
like still
the,
tracking, I'm pretty sure, as well, after last week.
Give me Christian McCaffrey in the San Francisco 49ers -3 against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's a good number.
Yeah, you got it. What did I get the Jags at?
3.5.
3.5.
Plus 3.5. Yeah, I got them at -3. Bears, Raiders. Raiders favored by 1.5 in Las Vegas. Obviously, Chicago has a huge win over the Dallas Cowboys. An Eberflus revenge game for Caleb Williams. Is this the beginning of something, or just something that we saw one time and we'll never see again? Ty, what do we think? What are our thoughts on the NFC North Chicago Bears with the Raiders here?
I still think they stink, the Bears, but it's weird because the Raiders, I feel like going into the season, we were giving them, hey, they got Geno Smith now. Pete Carroll, all he does is know how to win. And through a couple weeks, I mean, their schedule hasn't been super easy, but it's just like, oh, no, is this the same Raiders team that we've had the last, 5 to 10 years where they play a good game every once in a while, but ultimately they're going to win 6 games and be a massive disappointment? I'm kind of getting that feeling with the Raiders this year.
All right, I'm picking the Raiders because of that. Pete Carroll heard that. That's a lot to pull from. Give me the Raiders -1.5.
You could get him at
AJ, who do you like?
-0.5.
Boom, give me that. -0.5. The Raiders going to win this game. Could you imagine they tie this thing and I lose by
No. One team has Max Crosby on one side of the line and the other has Caleb Williams. So I can't wait to see what Max Crosby does to Caleb. Not even on the field, just chirping. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bingo.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
yeah.
Except for Max.
There's going to be some real pizzazz out there, I think.
Need
All right,
some
I'm taking
loud
the Raiders.
mics. Make sure the mics on that game are turned up.
tuned up as well. AJ, who do you got?
I like the Raiders, and strictly because of the quad box that D-Butt put up earlier this week to show how wide open all those receivers were on the touchdowns that Caleb threw last week against the Cowboys. That makes me worried a little bit. I feel like the Raiders might tighten up their coverage a tiny bit, but Caleb did play well and did complete these balls, which I'm not taking anything away from. You usually don't get free runners like this in the NFL.
Yeah, especially against, Dallas Cowboys, your old head coach, maybe Eberflus gave Caleb Williams a bone too.
Yeah,
maybe they didn't practice all week. Maybe they said we're going to leave somebody open. It was a new thing just to make Caleb feel better. Now we got a game. Which one of these powerhouses is going to be 1-3 after week 4? Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs. Baltimore obviously has these situations where they lose in the end. The Kansas City Chiefs, I don't think they've looked good in the regular season for like the last 3 years, but they're always around in the end. This year, people are saying, is the demise of the dynasty. This is the year where they're done. This is the year when it's over. Is this the time for the Baltimore Ravens to cement that and go to 2-2 as opposed to going 1-3? Anything we need to know about this on the back end, boys?
I don't think so. I think across the board is pretty healthy, aside from the
Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, aside from like Xavier and those guys that have been injured. I think it's basic. Yeah, here
Xavier's
we go.
back,
So
right?
Xavier will be back, and then I'm assuming Matabuke for the Ravens is still out.
Yep.
Not sure on Kyle Van Noy if he's questionable or if he's playing or not.
Who do you got, AJ?
Man, I was leaning heavy Ravens. I like that Xavier Worthy is back for the Chiefs. The Chiefs being dogs at home, maybe that puts a little chip on their shoulder. Give me the Chiefs.
Second time this year they're dogs at home.
Yeah.
What happened the first time?
They lost to the Eagles.
First time since 2019 they've been dogs back-to-back home games.
The sports books see what
Matt
we
Moore
see.
was at the wheel.
Some pretty good.
They see what we see.
Some pretty good tidbit.
But that Ravens defense is horrendous.
Bad.
Horrendous.
With Xavier Worthy being back, this might be the week that the Chiefs.
And do they get Pacheco going? Do they get the run game going possibly?
Ravens have dropped like 40, 42, and 30. I think if the Chiefs tried to score 30 points right now, it would take 8 games.
Who are you taking, Connor?
Yeah, who do you got?
I think I like the Ravens.
Sounded like that. All right, I'll go with Big Bubba. I'll take Bubba. Butta, I'm sorry. I'll take Butta. Sorry, I got baited into saying Bubba there. But I'll ride with Butta and Stavi. Green Bay and Dallas, obviously Sunday Night Football down there in Jerry World. It's Maka or Muckle's return on Sunday Night Football. And obviously NBC has a huge weekend with the Ryder Cup streaming all weekend on Peacock and on across their networks. And then on Sunday Night Football, they have a Super Bowl-like atmosphere as all the stars are going to be out. All the shit is going to be there. And right now, Green Bay's favored by 6.5 heading into Jerry World. Ty Schmidt, comfortable with 6.5, or is there a different line right now, Tone?
That is it.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I'm comfortable. I'd say if the Packers would have won that game against the Browns last week, like 13-10, instead of losing it, then I would have been a little bit worried just with all the pomp and circumstance surrounding this game. But I think they're going to be very motivated. I know it's like a storybook thing. I really do think Michael might have one of the best games of his career. And the Cowboys are just so banged up. Like, I know offensively Dak is still good, but I don't see how they win. Like, they need CeeDee Lamb. They just do. And their line's banged up too. So, and then obviously we're talking about everything DB. We saw what their secondary was like last week. So I expect this to be a big get-right game for Jordan Love in the offense. And I think Michael is going to be very, very, very ready to go in there and dominate.
Yeah, and I like that you're reminding him that that's what Jerry was calling him after it all. We have we got an injury report from yesterday for the Cowboys. Secondary seems to be trending in the right direction. Obviously, CD and Tyler Booker there. The thought of the secondary putting out another performance that they had like last week, I just don't see. I like that there's this much hype around it. I think Dak Prescott's a great leader. 6.5 feels like a lot of points. Give me the Dallas Cowboys plus 6.5 at home. AJ, your thoughts?
Okay, I didn't see you going there, but 6.5 does seem like a lot. But as Ty said, I think Michael/Micah is going to be juiced. I think early and often he is going to get to the quarterback. He might not have 3 sacks, but I think he's going to get plenty of pressures. and I think he's going to wreak some havoc. That Green Bay defense is still legit, so give me Green Bay here.
I don't like it. I don't like what I did there.
Still time.
Yeah.
To go the other way.
Maybe they'll figure it out.
I think they got their asses ripped all week. I really did.
sure.
Yeah, big time.
They probably had plenty of
What, you think LaFleur was doing this to his coaches about getting louder when talking to the players?
I don't know. It was really like one of the first times I've seen him, and I was like, wow, I really like what he's doing right now after a loss. Like, I really like this because he's
pissed. He was absolutely pissed.
He was big time. And he didn't call a great game either, so I think he probably knows that. But I hear what you're saying. 6.5 is a lot of points.
And the Cowboys secondary could figure it out because they gave 450 to Russ, and then they gave up $1 billion to Caleb, so they'll probably stop Jordan.
You should get that pizza.
You should eat it.
I just brought it over here. You know, Pennsylvania's got a lot of Pisons, so you got a lot of great pizza. And your friends at DoorDash can get it delivered right to your door. And you can save up $250 this season when you order on game days, like this beautiful piece of pizza right here that I'm holding in an incredibly comfortable way. You always put the thumb on top, hand on the bottom, and you go ahead and eat that thing right to your face. Shout out to DoorDash, and you can obviously scan this QR code and get $100 in DoorDash credits. Terms and exclusions certainly apply, but the thing that does apply most is that DoorDash has got your back.
Hell
thank you, DoorDash.
Love you, DoorDash.
For changing our life, and thank you for that pizza there. I'm sticking with the give me the Packers. I'll take the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
I'll take the Green Bay Packers. Yeah, just because Maka, I'd like Maka and his new friends to go in there and say, hey, this one's for our guy here.
Yes.
This one's for our guy here. And on the flip side, though, what if the Dallas Cowboys locker room goes and says, hey, a lot of bullshit being said about our team. A lot of bullshit being said about who's our team, why is our team, what we need, what we don't need. Obviously, last week, not good. That's a lot of motivation, especially with the game at home and, kind of the Super Bowl type
They do like Shoddy, too. It seems like the players like Shoddy.
Yeah. I'll take Green Bay. Give me Green Bay, plus 6.5. All right. Let's get the hell out of here. I got an opportunity to go meet Coach Katie of the women's volleyball team, national champion. Remember at the SB, she was celebrated because she was battling through cancer as she was also coaching her team to a national championship. She, by the definition, is an absolute dog. And I'm going to get a chance to go say hello to her. So that's obviously an incredible opportunity. Then I'm going to enjoy Happy Valley here and its vibes. And then tomorrow morning, we're kicking off a great college football slate. And then an incredible NFL Sunday's coming. And then Overreaction Monday, especially after USA versus Europe, is about to be, absolutely paramount. I mean, we're about to maybe hit the climax of everything on Monday. And it's great to be fully in football season and know that we're going to have great games ahead because we kind of got teams figured out at this point. But who's real, who's not? Who's a contender? Who's a pretender in disguise? We find out week 4 football with the Ryder Cup happening. AJ, I need you to make a shot. What was it for? What was the shot for?
No
I
injuries.
forget.
No injuries.
Yeah, no injuries.
AJ, this first one's for Team USA in the Ryder Cup.
Hell yeah.
First of all.
International ball?
No, hold on.
Do not shoot the international.
Yeah, I did not. This feels
There's,
like
there's an American ball.
What's that American basketball?
I can shoot this.
All right. I guess
Right
it
here.
is.
Which one? You want me this one, Pat?
No, hold on.
Never shot at
I think
this.
the international.
Bruce is going to get a real ball.
Yes, the international ball should be used for injuries. Okay, I don't think you should be shooting the USA Ryder Cup ball. We have a USA Ryder Cup ball. Boom. Showcase those letters to that camera.
That's the normal one.
Oh my God. That ain't it.
Oh.
Anyone know where the USA ball is?
God damn it. That's not it.
They're saying it's still USA, Bruce.
He's gone.
No,
He's going.
On the hop, Mitt. On the hop.
Check.
We
it.
need it.
We're hustling.
It's for the Ryder Cup.
Might be on
It's
my
for the Ryder
chair.
Cup.
On the hop. Let's go.
What's going on over here, boys?
These guys just out to lunch.
Yeah, it looks
taking
like
their
this is
sweet
a
time.
ball.
Jeez.
Oh, no. Bruce, here. Get Bruce
Bill?
running. He's running.
Where is it?
What kind of? Oh, Mitt.
Mitt got it.
Mitt got it.
Mitt.
Mitt got it. Atta boy, Mitt.
Thank you, Mitt.
You could've
Showcase that ball.
You could keep that one,
Showcase
too.
that ball. There's a reason why we chose that one. This one's for the Ryder Cup, okay? That one obviously has got the stars across Wilson. And in your hand, a great American hand, is the fate of our USA team at the Ryder Cup. You put that ball in that hoop, USA's winning. Okay. No pressure. Okay. Europe will hold this over our heads for the next 2 years.
Come on, Hawk.
Come on, Hawker.
I might go.
Oh. I don't think I've ever taken that
short,
shot.
he said.
I thought it was short.
Yeah,
You
he was
definitely
wrong.
had
He almost
taken that
claimed
shot
it
before.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should put your hat on
distance.
backwards.
That's it. Why?
Yeah. All right, injuries. We need to do international ball for injuries
International
now.
ball.
International ball, yeah. Here we go.
It's for injuries in all sports
Okay.
for the rest of the season, all the seasons. No more injuries.
I knew that one was good when it left my hand. I knew it was good.
Yes! AJ! Yes!
We knew
I
that
love
was
it.
good. I want to call it, though. Yeah.
Thank you for that. That was amazing.
No
Just
injuries.
need a
So
little
no
check.
injuries at all. For Sunday, no injuries?
Nope. Ever.
Rest of the year.
It's not
Today,
just-
tomorrow.
I'm so glad I
all
made that.
sports.
I'm very happy I made that. Yeah.
Me too. That was a lot of pressure. Now the USA won. Obviously, we'll let golf gods figure that one out. But the universe figured out the injuries right here because of you, AJ. Thank you for traveling to Indy. Thank you for making that shot. You're the absolute man, pal.
Thank you, guys. This is awesome. Hey, I think the Ryder Cup. Can we get a quick tone? What are we up 2 matches? What are we doing?
We are up in 2 matches. 1 match is all square, and we are down in 1 match. The afternoon guys are the guys that played in this morning and sat out this afternoon, I don't think they should play again.
Yeah, we're not going to see
I
them.
like that.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I mean, we should get DeChambeau out there strictly for Chambly or whatever the hell his name is. Chambly, Chambers.
Brandel.
Chambly.
Bison's out there. He's playing both
he's playing
morning
right
and
now.
afternoon.
That's what we're talking about. We need a little pizzazz. Great work this week, boys. Obviously, a lot of hard work. We're launching a show next week that we're editing and creating and producing. That's a really good show. Behind the scenes, there's been a lot of work done by Bill, by Talk, by Dirty, by Foxy, and I think the world's going to really enjoy it. There's been a lot happening at the Thunderdome behind the scenes, and this week was a huge one. So, boys, great work over there.
You
I
too,
really
pal.
appreciate you guys.
You too. Good luck. Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah, have fun, man.
I appreciate you. It's going to be an incredible weekend. We'll be back for Overreaction Monday. You all are the greatest people on earth. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. Gumpy, you want to head over here, pal? Yeah, Gumpy's going to come join us. I kind of got the Gumpy thing that Drew Aller had on me, you know?
Oh, sure.
Oh, no.
Gump, anything to say to the boys, Gumps?
No, great week, boys. Good time.
It was. Team on me. Hold on, let me zoom out that one. Let me zoom out a little bit. It's this way. Nope, that's the wrong way. Go this way.
There you go.
This way. Go this way.
There it is.
Team on me. Team on 3. Have the greatest weekends of your life. Hope everybody does that. You ready, Gumps?
Yep.
I need it to be loud in here, Gumps.
Oh, yeah.
Back there, too, Thunderdome.
Uh-huh.
This is a great weekend of ball.
Hell yeah.
This is a great weekend of sports. This is a great weekend to be alive. And it's been a great week. And next week's going to be the best week we've ever had. Team on me. Team on 3. Safe travels back to Ohio, AJ. 1, 2, 3. Team! Goodbye!